It started with a chat, just a few of us there, talking about life and the stuff we all share. From kids to chaos and the mess we make, we bonded over laughs and every mistake. From bad hair days to a joke or two, no topic was off limits, nothing taboo. We laughed till we cried, had each other's backs. A sisterhood formed in the middle of tracks. Sisterhood of the chat, we're strong and we're loud. From West Virginia, Liverpool, we're proud. From Texas to Australia, we've got the best. Lifting each other up, we pass every test. From the East Coast to the West, we cheer. From Indiana to New York, we're always here. From late night texts to early morning calls, we've been through it all, big and small. From talking fashion to the crazy stuff, we've got each other's backs when life gets tough. We send memes and pics of the day gone wrong and the occasional "can you believe this song?" We share everything, no secrets to keep, like a wild dream that we never want to sleep. Sisterhood of the chat, we're strong and we're loud. From West Virginia, Liverpool, we're proud. From Texas to Australia, we've got the best. Lifting each other up, we pass every test. From the East Coast to the West, we cheer. From Indiana to New York, we're always here. From Tennessee, where the music plays, to sweet tea nights and lazy days. From England's hills to the country roads, our sisterhood's a bond that forever grows. Sisterhood of the chat, we're strong and we're loud. From West Virginia, Liverpool, we're proud. From Texas to Australia, we've got the best. Lifting each other up, we pass every test. From the East Coast to the West, we cheer. From Indiana to New York, we're always here. Through the highs and the lows, we've been there. When the world feels heavy, we just don't care. We're loud, we're bold, we're a little bit wild, but always there for each other, with hearts so mild. Sisterhood of the chat, we're strong and we're loud. From West Virginia, Liverpool, we're proud. From Texas to Australia, we've got the best. Lifting each other up, we pass every test. From the East Coast to the West, we cheer. From Indiana to New York, we're always here. So here's to the sisters who make life so sweet. We've got each other, no defeat. From the chat to the heart, it's all the same. We're a sisterhood forever in the friendship game. According to Leanie, the eclipse is to blame, but truly the Lord brought us together, and we'll never be the same. In the studio we laugh all day. She's got that sass in every way. Talking fast, not a pause in sight. Leanie's got my head in a spin tonight. Oh, shut up, Leanie, can't you see? You talk so much, it's drowning me. With your white hair and sassy flair, just give me a breath, let me share. Podcast queen with a wicked smile, running jokes mile after mile. Try to speak, but in she slides. Leanie makes it a wild ride. Smile, running jokes mile after mile. I try to speak, but in she slides. Leanie makes it a wild ride. Oh, shut up, Leanie, can't you see? You talk so much, it's drowning me. With your white hair and sassy flair, just give me a breath, let me share. Oh, Leanie, don't get me wrong, can't imagine life without your song. But girl, you've gotta let me in. This ain't just your show to win. So here I stand with my mic in hand, trying to keep this show as planned. Leanie laughs, guess it's gonna stay a little secret every day. Trying to keep this show as planned. Leanie laughs, guess it's gonna stay a little secret every day. Oh, shut up, Leanie, can't you see? You talk so much, it's drowning me. With your white hair and sassy flair, just give me a breath, let me share. Let me share. Oh, Leanie, don't get me wrong, can't imagine life without your song. But girl, you've gotta let me. This ain't just your show to win. Baby, can't you see? You talk so much, it's drowning me. With your white hair and sassy flair, just give me a breath, let me share. Oh, me, don't get me wrong. Can't imagine a life without your song. Girl, you've gotta let me. This ain't just a show to me. So here I stand with my mic in hand, trying to keep this show as planned. Leaning last, guess it's gonna stay our little secret every day. So here I stand with my mic in hand, trying to keep this show as planned. Leaning last, guess it's gonna stay our little secret every day.
Hello, 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 hello. Hi, everybody. I'm trying to get my coffee. Let me get my coffee, and then I will see who else in chat. I don't think I don't have a cold, you guys. It's just I think from streaming so much the last couple of days. As long as we have, my voice is just like I hate you. My throat's like I hate you. Because believe it or not, as much as talking is like, I'm gonna kill this coffee maker, y'all. I'm just gonna throw it straight out the freaking door. There's nothing. This is the third time. I guess I finally did it right. I'm gonna get a cup of coffee. Maybe. Come on. Okay. Thank you, Jesus. Anyways, I talk more on here than I talk in my real life. I'm usually pretty quiet here around the house. Don't have nothing to say. While I'm waiting for that, let me get this off my screen. Hold on. There we go. There I am. Hello, Lainey. Hello, Lainey. Good to see you guys. Thank you guys for being here. Do me a favor, hit the thumbs up, the thumbs down. It really doesn't matter to me. Just let the algorithm know that you engaged with the chat in some way. I appreciate it so much, you guys. Like I said, I'm losing my voice. We're just going to have to bear with it. Diamond Lucidity was in the house. Good to see her. My fellow Indianian. And JD. Our matriarch, Miss Barbara, coming in from Arizona, right about 10 minutes from where Nancy Guthrie lives, you guys. She's right there in the heart of all of this in Arizona. Tucson. Lulu. Look at there, Australians just jumping around the house like a bunch of roos. Hey, Melly Joe. Good to see everybody. Thank you guys so much, even the ones up in the naked bushes. Y'all be careful up there. If the red light if the red light's going, hold on, I got a fight between my cat and my dog. Hey, 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 he's scared. Hey, little guy. Hold on. Y'all, the puppy, Wednesday, my cat is still not happy with the puppy because he's too much of a spaz for him. And so his little heart just gets to beating and he gets scared. All right, baby. I was trying to get outside to use the bathroom and the puppy wanted to play. He doesn't know any better. Anyways, back to this. Lulu says, it's a school night for me, so I'll probably be non-campus in a half hour. If I disappear, I haven't stormed off, just passed out. That's all right, love. Sure good to see you. Sure good to see you. Rizzo is up. See, we're already getting invaded by the British again, you guys. The British are coming. Lizzo's up and at 'em. Good to see you, Liz. I know I'm late getting on, you guys. I did a lot of house cleaning, caught up on my house cleaning yesterday. And then I crashed about, God, it was about 9 o'clock at night. I just was like, I got to go to bed. I got to get some sleep. And then I woke back up at midnight or something. I've been up ever since. So there's that. Miss Barbara says, oh, wait, Lulu, Kuilini, please, can you tell me the pics of the men? Were they the same men or two different men, and are they involved? Are we talking about, which two pics are we talking about? I'm not sure. There's a couple pictures that we've shown on here that have Maggie's put a side by side on them. So I'm not sure. Are you talking about the ones that were from the porch that night, or are you talking about like colorful ones? Miss Barbara had a doctor's appointment this afternoon, fell in the kitchen on the ceramic tile. Oh my gosh. Miss Barbara, I hope you're okay. Be careful. Be careful. Hi, Darlene. Good to see you. Another one of our Aussie friends. Thank you, Liz, for answering that. I wasn't sure which one we were talking about. Hold on, you guys. I had a cough. I'm sorry. I try to catch it before I cough in your guys' ear because that's like disturbing, isn't it? Anyways, I don't know. I'm overstimulated, to tell you guys the truth, with this this case. If you know me, you know that I am interested in so many different vast things. It's kind of unbelievable. I love history. I love homemaking, house cleaning, slow living, kind of bullshit like that. And I haven't been able to watch none of that stuff because this case has me wrapped, just wrapped. I love true crime too, but the thing that I love the most, I think, is just what I mentioned before, history and homemaking, things like that, and watching silly stuff that nobody else even knows is out there, because I'm an old soul, I think, and I think I'm living in the wrong era. And I'm going to sit out here and smoke, so I'm not looking at chat right now, just so you guys know, before I pull up what I've brought up that I want to discuss today. But I want to get some business out of the way, channel business, you guys, housekeeping here on the channel. We have to do it from time to time. And it's time again. So here we go. First, I want to thank Maggie and Lizzo for running just impeccable lives. I was listening to that. Every room that I had to work in yesterday in my house, I had them playing in because I was so fascinated. I was just really fascinated with the work that they had done on this case and things. And so it's always interesting to hear other people's take on it. Now, the deal is Maggie, Lizzo, and I, and even the girls that hang out over in Discord, and we talk about this stuff like nonstop. And if anything new comes up, it's being dropped over there, and then we go into it and we talk about it. All of us don't have the same thought on this case. We're not all in this group that are saying, oh yeah, this is exactly how it happened. I think we all have a different theory of what's going on. And I'm just so grateful that I'm with a group of people that they believe it's okay for other people to have an opinion too. And as long as we sit around, we talk about it like adults and respect everybody's right to have a different opinion, then it's cool. So I want to reiterate that in chat. I know a lot of people aren't here. Last night when I did the live, we had the most people in chat than we've ever had. And I'm grateful for that. But I just want to remind everybody, and like I said, I know not everybody's here, but maybe somebody will listen to this that that needs to hear it. I want to remind you that somebody in chat or somebody on panel may not be speaking it the way that you think that it happened. And that's okay, because none of us are investigators. If we were, we wouldn't be here. We'd be doing our own jobs. Okay. This channel is just about a bunch of people who get together, not only for true crime. In fact, true crime is the least thing that we do here. But we all just get together and we accept who we are, and there's no judgment, and we act like adults, and we truly do care about people. So if you see somebody in chat that you don't like what they're having to say or whatever, the best thing we're going to tell you to do is just to block them yourself. The mods are watching, but the chat is moving so fast. I don't have a whole lot of mods. I've never needed a whole lot of mods, and I'm not over the mods. That's Melly Joe's job. She is our top mod here, and if she thinks she needs more mods, then she'll figure out who she needs. That's how that works. So if I can tell you this, if they see any bullying in chat, or they think that people are just being total assholes, they will run you out of here really, really quick. Because listen, I would rather lose 10 subscribers and keep 3 that are decent and know how to act like adults. That's the way that I am. And that's the way that the mods are too. So thankful for that. The other thing is, just because whoever's on panel doesn't get to your question, it doesn't mean that I'm ignoring you, or whoever's on panel is ignoring you. We're not. There's nothing more than we like than to have conversations with people in chat. In fact, there are times we do nothing but sit and talk to chat. But when we're covering a case like this and we're bringing up things, we're reading things, we're watching things too, and then we're trying to stay 2 steps ahead of the game to bring up something else for you. And we've got all these tabs open. Sometimes it's hard to keep up with chat, especially the way the last couple of days it's been running. And like I said, I'm so grateful for that. But I don't want anybody thinking that we're purposely ignoring anybody. We're not. Not at all. And sometimes you may put the same question in chat 5 times and I will never see it. And it's just the way that it just has to do with what I'm doing at the time. And you guys can't see me sitting here pulling stuff up on the computer to show you more and more of, right? So that's why a lot of creators, they say, if you want your question answered, give me a super chat, because it'll put a color behind it and it'll show up on screen and it grabs their attention. Look, I don't want your money. I don't want nothing to do with your money. I don't care about that. I don't want your membership. I'm not asking for anything. The only thing I ever asked of is the very least you would do is hit the thumbs down. That's all I've ever asked of anybody since I made my goal. And even before then, I never asked anybody for money. I don't post my PayPal. I don't post any of that stuff. I never ask anybody to join memberships. I don't even ask you to sub up, because to me, that's not what's most important about this. I'm not trying to make a living off of YouTube like other YouTubers are. I don't need to do that. I'm here because I want to be here, and I've made some great friends here, and I've got something to say, and I like hanging out. And I love people, and I just want to talk to people. That's it. So I'm no different than any other creator, but I don't say, I'll answer your question if you put cash behind it. If I can get to your question, believe you me, I'm going to answer it. I don't care. I'll answer it if I can answer it. If I can't answer it, I'll say, I don't know. I don't know about that. And then I'll ask chat. Maybe somebody else will know. That's how we run things around here. So I appreciate you just being here. If you stop in one time, I appreciate that one time. If you come back, I appreciate you come back. If you say something in chat, I appreciate that the most. So I just want to make it clear, because I know some stuff happened in chat last night. You are not at all being ignored. If you're a troll, The mods are going to get rid of you. You know that you will have fucked up in chat. And sometimes, and this did happen once when I was live last night, where somebody came in and asked a question about something I had already covered. Now, I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not trying to be rude. I know I can be brash, and sometimes what I say sounds like I'm a total cunt, and I can be a total cunt. Believe you me. But I'm not trying to be when I say this. There are some people that come in and they stay from beginning to end. So for those people and for myself, I had to tell that person last night, look, I've already covered that. We actually covered it. We didn't just answer a question. You're asking a question of something I covered 2 hours ago. So please go back. If you need that answered from me, then please go back and listen to the live. And that's what I told them. And then I know Maggie was in chat last night towards the end, about an hour before the end. And there was someone trolling chat saying I wasn't answering them and they were going to go somewhere else to get the answer. Well, then do that. Do that, especially when my mods and the co-host is telling you she'll answer that as soon as she can't see it right now. And that's the truth. I just can't. Like right now, I'm not reading chat. I'm not even in there, you know? So there are times I'm going to step away, but usually I tell you when I step away, or I'll say something to the mods like, hey, I can't read chat. And that's if that's in case they might be doing dishes or cleaning a floor like I was yesterday. And then they know, okay, let me get over there and get my eyes on the screen so I can watch what's going on. So please don't take anything to heart here. We do have the best of intentions. None of us here think that we're anything special or that the way that we cover this is completely right and that we're going to solve anything. We're not. We're just a group of people that have opinions too, that want to talk about it, and we're all interested, and that's it. And the same thing goes on when I'm doing something stupid like riding a roller coaster. Okay? It doesn't matter when you come into this. Here's the other thing I want to say. What this channel really does, for those of you that have subscribed during our true crime thing marathon that I feel like we've been going through the last couple of weeks, is what we're used to doing is this chat, this channel will change every 15 minutes. I guarantee you, when I'm not covering something that's this big that needs our full attention, you'll come into chat. We'll be talking about one thing. You might leave and go to another channel, come back in an hour, even 20 minutes. And we're talking about something completely different. Completely. So I don't ever really put on a program unless we're doing something this serious. I don't go live to just talk about one thing. I go live to interact with people. And sometimes it means somebody else coming up on panel and we get to know who they are and they just need some support, and that's what we're there for. And then sometimes me and Maggie are just here and we're bashing each other. And sometimes we're roasting our friends in chat. And sometimes we're roasting funny shit that we see on the YouTubes. And sometimes I'm sweeping a floor or reviewing a product or doing a thrift haul. You never know what you're going to walk into here. Never. We don't have a genre for that very reason, because I think I'm too scatterbrained to do a full a channel just on one thing. I'm interested in way too much stuff. And let's just face it, every one of us are humans, yes, but that's the only thing that we have in common. We're all very, very different people with very, very different life experiences. And my very favorite thing that I love about this channel is that I have met so many cool people that will come up here and tell me their story. And I'm blown away. I'm blown away. That's what this channel was created for, was a space for people to come and not feel like they have to hide who they are. Listen, I'm just a pissed off middle-aged woman for the most part, who gets easily excited over the littlest things, like Maggie pretending to smoke a cigarette with me. Or I mean, I'm probably the silliest person I've ever met. And I don't understand why people want to hang out here, but I don't have to. I'm just grateful. So there we go. I'm off my high horse. I'm gonna smoke this cigarette. I'm grateful for every last one of yous. And one of yous, I said that like my friend up there in New York. One of yous, I am grateful. I'm very, very grateful. And I just don't want anybody to think that they're being left out, because you absolutely aren't. If you're being left out, you're left out the door because the mods have kicked you out. If you're in here, that means we care, and that and we'll get to it. We'll get to it. I promise. And if we don't, hopefully we get to it the next time. We're not perfect, but damn it, we try so hard to make this fun and light and entertaining, and where you can just sit back and go, nobody fucking cares, because we don't care. We just don't care. We're just are who we are, and we're not trying to be anything else. And we're not professional. We kid around about being professional, but we're fucking not. So we're just fucking funny most of the time. I am going to claim that. We're fucking funny people. And if you don't have a sense of humor, you are not going to appreciate this channel at all, because every one of us are sarcastic. And I know I've learned in the last 2 years that there are many people that don't get sarcasm or that hate sarcasm. Well, you're going to hate me from word go, because I am the most sarcastic person I know, but that's the way I was raised. So I don't know any other way to be. All right. You know what? I love you guys. Thank you for being here. I do have some tabs opened up. We are going to talk about the Nancy Guthrie case. And the reason why I titled this, is your opinion of the case changing? Because some things came out today. And y'all, I think my opinion's changing. And I told you guys from word go, that if I felt like I was wrong, then I'm going to say I'm wrong. I think I was wrong about something, so I need to put it out there. What are you pissed off about? It's just a middle-aged thing, honey. It's just a middle-aged thing, especially when you're a woman. It's so easy, so easy. There's something to be pissed off or worried about. I'll make it up for you. It's a joke. So Joe, calm it down. How old are you? Come on. Remember when I talked about got to have a sense of humor to be here? Like, let's roll with it, people. Let's roll with it. All right, listen up. I have to. I think it's wise. Y'all hear my dogs playing in the background. I think it's wise to, at least for now, apologize for what I thought happened in this case, or who's responsible for this case. And I'm going to tell you why in just a minute. And I don't mind apologizing. Now, I may turn around tomorrow, because like I said, I'm female. I may turn around tomorrow and change my mind back, because that's the great thing about being a female. We all just know that we're all fucked up, and we're going to change our mind all the time. It's just what we do. It's what I do. Listen, I flip flop until it all comes out, right? But I've got a different opinion about some things, and I want to talk about it, and I want to show you guys some stuff as to what made me think different about it. All right, here we go. All right, here we go. Let's hello everybody. Thank you guys so much for being here. I see everybody in chat. If you are over in, so there's 2 lives going right now. There is the YouTube live, and then there's the vertical YouTube live. The one that we see the most of, the one where everybody, you'll check me. Soja says, oh, you and I will click on sarcasm. All right, I dig it. See, I knew you was going to come around. Oh, you're 63? Y'all, I'm losing my voice. You're 63? Okay, then I'll shut the fuck up. Anyways, I thank you guys for being here so much. I appreciate you. If you guys are over in the YouTube vertical, meaning that you're looking at your phone and you look at where your name is and you see a little phone next to it, you are in the vertical live, and that's okay. But I won't see that as quickly as I see you over in the regular YouTube. The way to get to that, I think somebody in chat might post it in in the comments for me. If it's there, click on that. You can come over here to the YouTube live, not the vertical. If not, the vertical's fine. Eventually, most of it pops up. Some of it doesn't pop up. That's just the way it goes. I don't know why YouTube does that, but that's the way YouTube does it. All right. I'm going to play a song really quick because I'm still holding this damn cigarette that I haven't lit, and I need to. I'll play. Oh, you always give me my huckleberry. Oh, for the love of God, I'm so excited. I'm going to play a song really quick. I'm going to smoke this cigarette really quick, and then we're going to come in and we're going to get into this because, y'all, some shit has changed for me. Some shit has changed for me. BRB.
The smoke break song, or it might be a coffee song. Just everyone sing along. Go and take a pee. This is a smoke break song. Lunch lady's smoke break song. She doesn't like them to be alone. That's just the way it's gonna be. So what are y'all into? Hey Richie, have you drank a few? I drank a few too. Back in '93. This is a Pete dance song. Everybody better be getting on. Sit on the pot and pee, even if you have a wee. This is the beefcake song. He needs coffee for his drive to be gone from the house so he can make some money. This is an Aussie song. Everyone just sing along. We'll sing hey true blue and green with the cooey. This is a British song. It's a quite proper song. We will all go mad unless you sing along. Okay, that's long enough for our professional smoker. Come back to your chat, great host Lee. Hotbox that cigarette. Your song is over yet? My words I'm starting to forget because we don't ever sleep. Hit the like chicken, LL Cool Mom out. I'll be one ticking, LL Cool Mom out. Everyone just sing along. We'll sing hey true blue and green with the cooey. This is a British song. It's a quite proper song. We will all go mad unless you sing along. Okay, that's long enough for our professional smoker. Come back to your chat, great host leading. Hot box that cigarette. Your song is over yet? My words I'm starting to forget because we don't ever sleep. Hit the like chicken, LL Cool Mom out. Hope you want chicken, LL Cool Mom out. How? Outbox. That's the only words I'm starting to forget because we don't ever sleep. Hit the like chicken, LL Cool Mom out.
Alrighty. Shout out to Lunch Lady. She's the manager of the channel, you guys, and she writes all of our music here. It's not written by AI. In fact, she was doing it before everybody decided to jump on the bandwagon and start writing AI songs. And I don't know if they're writing their own music or what. I'm not going to accuse anybody of anything, but I will say this. Every word you hear come from her lips, and then she puts it to whatever genre of music she wants, and then that's the part of the AI that you get. But word for word, even the ands, the eyes, the no's, the don'ts, the whatever, it's all written by our Lunch Lady. And we thank her for that. She just got tired of hearing my StreamYard music, y'all. It was rather boring. And you may not understand the songs, but the OGs who've been here forever, it's kind of, that's how the songs were written by just the total delinquent bullshit that we've done on this channel. That's what it's about. All right, let's get into this. Hello, everybody. Thank you guys so much for being here. Y'all do me a favor, hit the thumbs up, the thumbs down, and let the algorithm know that you interacted with this channel in some way. That's all I'll ever ask of you guys. We're going to use a fair use disclaimer. Copyright Act of 1976 gives allowance for this content to be used for purposes of criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, research, all the things, guys. YouTube, do not come after me because it's scrolling on the bottom, okay? All right. Listen, like I said, I changed my mind. I got to change my mind. I've been saying from day one. Now, some people are going to disagree with this, and that's okay. You're welcome. You're welcome to disagree with me. I love it. I've been saying since day one that son-in-law had something to do with this. Now, you're going to say, Lena, you're a fool. And that's okay. I don't mind being a fool. But I've always said, I tell y'all, I try to bring factual stuff. I try to ask for sources. I try to ask for, so it's factual, right? And then when I have a theory or I think about something or whatever, then I let you guys know, these are my thoughts. You know, this is from my research. This is what I'm thinking about it. Well, from my research and from everything that I had seen up until this evening, I said day one that I believed that the son-in-law had something to do with this crime. In fact, I thought he was the mastermind of it. I wasn't sure if his wife was, but I wasn't ruling it out. But I would have staked my name that the son-in-law had something to do with it. So, Joe, I'm so sorry to hear that, honey. I'm so sorry. Don't isolate, honey. Come and hang out here. I mean, we're a nutty group to be with, but you know what? Bring your nutcrackers. Anyways, the police came out last night, you guys, or sometime yesterday when I went around and said that they have cleared all of the Guthrie family, including children, siblings, and spouses. Now, I am very aware that police make mistakes, and there have been times in cases that they have cleared people, come to find out they were the person who did it. But what I try to do is try to have faith that they're doing their job correctly. So because they came out and said that, I was like, all right, let me rethink, because they're the professionals, not me. I'm just a professional smartass. So I was like, all right, Lainey, what do you think? What do you think? Well, I've always said that tomato, Tabasco, whatever the hell his name is the mastermind, but I never believed he was the one that actually did it. I mean, I don't believe that he had the balls, or I just think that the people he surrounds himself with are the people that he got to do the crime for him. So because I have to believe in the blue and believe the professionals for a minute, I have to take a step back. And I've heard different things come out, like the cartel, and I've heard things come out about Nancy Guthrie's profession, you know, and what she did for a living. And I read how she was going to supposedly blow the whistle on some stuff with Medicaid or Medicare, whatever it is. And so I had to take all of that into consideration. Do I believe it is an organized crime thing? No, I think these are thugs. I think the way that they went about things doesn't make any sense to me. I don't, that's why I can't jump on that cartel thing. I can't get with it. I'm not going to get with it. This is small time crime crap. These are people who think, I really believe these are people who think like that they're smart enough, you know, that they got this. These are big bad guys. No, I don't think so. I think it's small time crime. And this is probably the biggest thing that they've ever tried to pull off. I am going to say that I will continue to say, and I hope that I'm wrong, that Nancy is, I do believe that she is not with us anymore. I don't think she left the house alive. I think she was passed when she left the house. Again, I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I really do hope I'm wrong about that. I wouldn't mind being wrong about that. I do think that maybe I think that the family at this point, I have to believe the family didn't have anything to do with it, but I do believe that I still believe that it's for money somewhere, some way. I do not think this was a robbery that went wrong. I don't think that backpack was empty. I think there was something in the backpack because I think they went in not to kidnap her, but to murder her for whatever reason. I haven't figured, I don't know why other than money. So with that, I'm going to play something for you guys. And listen, I'm going to have to stop it in between. And I know some people really, really hate that, but I want to keep my channel. We work really hard at having this channel, and I don't want to lose it because someone gets pissed off that I have to stop and commentate because that's the rules of the game. But anyways, I found this. There was something else I was going to bring up, and then I ended up seeing this tonight when I was trying to figure out what it was that, because there's so much to cover, you guys. We can cover. Oh, you guys, when I say I am overwhelmed, the reason why I'm overwhelmed is because there's so much that we could cover. But I don't want to put so much into one live that we forget half the shit that we've already talked about, right? So I'm just like, focus, Leanie, focus. And that's hard for me, you guys, because I'm like, but this, but that. And I'm just squirreling everywhere with it, right? There's so much that we could cover. So I'm trying to keep it like just to a couple things that we could wrap our head around, because for me, if you give me too much information, I'm overwhelmed. So please don't be mad at me that I have to play along with the rules. I don't want to get a strike on this channel because I'm playing people's content. And but I wanted to show you what made me sit back and go, okay, let's bring stuff to the forefront and let's throw this out for right now, but leave it over on the side. The other thing I wanted to say before I play this is I know there are people that have been detained and let go. The catch and release, that's what they call it, the catch and release. I'm going to go out on a limb, and I think a lot of you believe this too. Some of the people that they have detained and let go, they will be arrested. I absolutely 100% believe 100% believe that they're going to find the perpetrator. They're going to find it, and it's going to blow it. He's going to sing like a canary, y'all, and that's how we're going to find out about who all was involved in this little fun game that they played. Right? Do I believe that they're going to find Nancy at this point? No. And I know that sounds cruel and mean, and I'm sorry, but that's just the way that I believe. I don't believe that we're going to find her at this point. I hope we do. I want to be wrong about everything that I say when it comes to what I believe Nancy, what happened with her. But I have to be honest. That's just the way it is. That's my theory. Mine. Okay. All right. So I'm watching those people. I got my eyes trained, y'all. I got my ears out, my eyes trained. I'm watching those people that they have spoken to and let go, because I don't think they're done with them. I just don't think they have enough yet. I think they know who did this. I'm starting to believe that they know who did this, and they don't have enough for an arrest yet, but I think it's coming. All right, let me pull this up really quick. Thank you guys once again for being here. And let's watch and listen to this together. Let me take me off. Don't need me up there. Put her up there. You guys, my source is Ashley Banfield. This is her personal YouTube channel. A lot of people don't like her. I like her. I think she's straightforward. I dig it. I found her back when I was living in Florida, and they were Court TV was doing the Casey Anthony trial, and I thought I really really liked her, and so then I got out of watching true crime and went back to work full time, and had to do the domestic thing and all that shit, and then come to find out when I got back into it all, when Gabby Petito went missing, is when I found YouTube. And I was like, holy shit, there's a whole world out here that I don't know about. You suckers. None of you told me. You suckers. All right, here we go. Let's take a listen to this, you guys. Please watch your ears because I cannot control your volume. It's better to turn it down and then slide it up, I guess, unless you just want to be startled. All right, this is Ashley Banfield, you guys. This came out just a couple of hours ago. Actually, she 2 hours ago. 2 hours ago, she dropped this, you guys. So I hopefully you haven't seen it yet, and hopefully it'll make you sit back and go, if nothing else. All right, let me shut the hell up.
Hey everyone, I'm Ashley Banfield, and this is Drop Dead Serious. Thank you so much for being here. A lot happened today in the Nancy Guthrie investigation, and a lot didn't happen today. I got a couple of things I'm going to tell you about, very, very important, and some incredible commentary from a guy who I've had my first conversation with him, and it will not be my last. This guy is really smart. His name's Spencer Corson, former Special Deputy U.S. Marshal. This guy knows so much, and he's got some really interesting thoughts on the things that happened today. First and foremost, big story happened today. Brian Enton discovering that FBI agents have been going around to gun stores all around Tucson with dozens of photos and names. Where'd they get those names? Why those names? Why those people? Why those photos? 40 of them. I'm going to tell you the significance of that many names and that action in just a moment. Also, huge news from the Pima County Sheriff. He put out a statement today that was huge, clearing Savannah Guthrie's family, including her siblings and their spouses, which is massive because, as you'll know, early in the investigation, on day 3, my source said to me, high-level source, said to me that they have towed the sister and brother-in-law's car, and that the Nest cameras were smashed, that the back door was left open, that there was blood in the house, forced entry, and that the brother-in-law may be the prime suspect now. That was on day 3. So why is it that that may have been the focus on day 3? You're going to hear some incredible analysis as to why these investigations ebb and flow, how that is 100% possible, and how it is entirely possible it can change as well. I think you'll remember I said that. A lot of times they can change their minds depending on where the investigation takes them. But some big key factors of what happened on day 1 and day 2 that may have led to something called confirmation bias. We're going to talk about that in a minute as well. And then the DNA. Everybody's waiting on the DNA from that glove from 2 miles away. A glove that looked like the glove on the ring cam. Does it match? Does it match the DNA inside the house? Is it going to take them anywhere? Is it just someone's glove? I'm going to talk about why it's taking longer than it should and if that's such a bad thing. You might be surprised by what you hear. First and foremost, thank you so much for being a part of this podcast. Thank you so much. Would you do me a solid and subscribe? It would really help me out. I'm an independent journalist now, so it's really big if you subscribe for me. I don't think it's really hard, and it doesn't cost a cent. And it.
Hold up. Did Homegirl just say she's independent? She did. So does that mean that she's no longer got her show on Court TV? Dunno. But y'all do her a solid and sub up to Ashley Banfield. And I agree with her. I think I learned that the most in the Brian Koberger case, how much it ebbs and flows. How much you think these fuckers aren't doing shit for this. Like, where's the police? Where's the police? Why aren't they doing this? Why aren't they doing that? And all along, that's what they were doing. And so I'm trying to learn patience. I'm trying to learn patience here, and I'm not good at patience. I want everything happening right now. I feel like I'm in the generation that I raised when it comes to shit that I want done. And one of them is I want these crimes solved right now. And I need to learn to be more patient because the police are way smarter than I am. And if I could figure out, I mean, because there's a lot she says on here, and I'm like, oh shit, my channel had that figured out long ago. Ashley, come on, jump on it. So, I mean, we can figure stuff out together, right? But so I guess what I'm figuring out, it's not that big of a deal, even though I think, oh my God, I broke the case. I haven't broke shit, y'all, but my back. The cops already know. They already know it. And so I have to believe stuff that my brain cannot fathom that theirs can, because they're the trained individuals. I'm not. Hi, Joyce. Hi, April. Hello, everybody. Thank you guys for being here. Appreciate it so much. This is Ashley Banfield, you guys. Sub up to her. I kind of like her. I kind of dig her.
It's not hard. And also, thank you to my sponsors for allowing this podcast to be possible. Like Incogni. I mean, let's face it, I cover some pretty dark stuff, right? A lot of dark crimes out there.
Cannot do those, you guys. Sorry. I will get busted.
Brian's been killing it. And let me tell you, the reporting today that the FBI has been going store to store all around Tucson with a stack of 40 photos and 40 names. They're taking these names and photos, the file, to the owners and the workers in these stores, and they're asking them, have you seen these people in your store? Not just have they bought something, have you seen?
I'm going to stop it right there just a second, and then I'm going to shut up for a minute and let it play through. Maybe they did learn something. Remember in the Koberger case, they were going store to store, right? Store to store, looking to see if, all of the, what do you call them? Pawn shops, looking for who sold before, they got the before they were able to get the list from Amazon. They walked the beat, as they say. They went to all the pawn shops to see if any guy had been in there buying a K-bar, things like that. So, like I said, I've been bitching. I've been on here. I've been bitching about it. I've been saying, look, why are we just now in week 2 going door to door to the neighbors? Now, I still think that's wrong. I'm still going to stand by that. I still think we fucked up. Not we, I'm not a part of them, but they fucked up in many, I think there were some steps missed. I really, really do. But I was happy to hear that there they were going, to these places to see if anybody recognized this guy. Good work. Good work. I didn't think they were doing it. Still going to bitch, but good work on them. I mean, I call them out when I think they're wrong. I got to call them out when I think they're doing good. So here we go. I'm going to shut up now and let her just talk for a few minutes. You know what? I'm going to make it. Should I make it? Do you guys want me to make it go a little bit faster or no? Because I want everybody to understand it and hear it. I can listen to it on 1.5 speed and be like totally fine. So if you guys want me to speed it up, I can speed it up. If you don't want me to, because you think you might miss something, then I won't. Like I said, those of you that are over in the YouTube vertical lives, I may not be seeing all of your comments. So if you could come over to the other YouTube live, you will be right here where you see a lot of people chatting, and it'll get me your comment quicker. All right, since nobody said anything, I'm going to let it go the way it is.
Seen them in your store? Have they made a purchase of a weapon in your store? Look, they got a really good look at a very cheap, what looks like a $10 Walmart gun holster. And it's a revolver holster, but it's an automatic weapon that's stuffed inside it. So they got a bit of a look at that. And what they're doing is the gumshoe stuff. right? This is the hard work, the shoe leather detective work, to just go and ask. Maybe someone will recognize these people. But I have got a really interesting comment that's coming up about 40. Is that actually effective, or do you actually end up making it more difficult for these store owners because you're showing them so many photos? That's coming up in just a moment. Don't go anywhere, because when you hear Spencer Corson weigh in on that, you're going to give your head a shake. Also, big, huge news. The sheriff putting out a statement today, very strident statement, clearing all of the Guthrie family, the kids and their spouses. Very important. Let me read the comment of the statement word for word. It is a statement from Sheriff Chris Nanos on the Nancy Guthrie investigation. Quote, to be clear, the Guthrie family, to include all siblings and spouses, has been cleared as possible suspects in this case. The family has been nothing but cooperative and gracious and are victims in this case. To suggest otherwise is not only wrong, it is cruel. The Guthrie family are victims, plain and simple. Please, I'm begging you, the media, to honor your profession and report with some sense of compassion and professionalism. Interestingly, NBC had two sources last night that said that authorities are leaning away from their original suspects in this case. Well, in order to lean away, you would have had to have leaned in. And I think it's interesting that the sheriff uses this language when, in fact, it was the sheriff's department and the FBI that towed Annie's car on day 2 or 3. I got the news on day 3, on Tuesday, after the Sunday disappearance, under a warrant, and had it processed. And then also stopped the search on day 2 and returned the scene. Said the scene is done 30 hours after the disappearance. All of that seemed very odd. And then to see all of the activity over at Annie's house, taking her mail, searching inside, searching around the property, searching the neighbors, all of these things, it stands to reason, as most law enforcement experts will tell you, people who've been in law enforcement, that that is the first place you search. Is it the last? And should you lock in on it? That is the question. So my source told me that they had locked in, that he may be the prime suspect on day 3. What has changed? I said in my first podcast, they always reserve the right to change their minds, and often do. They did with John Benet Ramsey's dad, John. They did with Ed Smart, Elizabeth Smart's father. They can always change their mind, and should, if the investigation takes them that way. So this could be very, very good that they're actually doing the right work. But why lock in so early? Because again, my source is airtight about that information on that Tuesday. They had locked in on one person in the Guthrie family. Why did they do that? When you hear from Spencer Corson in a moment, you will be enlightened as to what happens with certain kinds of detectives at certain phases of an investigation. And also, not going to lie, law enforcement has taken it on the chin for the last 5 years. Many folks in law enforcement have said, I'm out. Fuck this. We've been treated like garbage. And many very, very skilled and talented and experienced professionals have left the force, which then is backfilled by newer people less experienced, fewer hours on the job, maybe not the instincts, may have come into a situation early and made some assumptions. There's something called confirmation bias that Spencer's going to talk about in just a moment, and he's going to weigh on this because he's much better at it than I. But again, from day one, I always said, this is where they're focused now, and they absolutely could change. And now it looks like they have, although there are several people saying that the federal authorities are not parroting that same reporting. They are not clearing the same way that the sheriff is.
All right, guys, like I said, I'm going to have to stop it in between so I don't get busted for playing somebody else's content. We're supposed to comment on it every now and then. And I know people hate that when we have to do it, but I don't want to lose my channel. If you guys weren't here the other day, I'm going to encourage you to go and find the interview with Brian Inton and the second guy in charge of the SWAT team. And I mean, he puts it all out there, you guys. He spills the tea completely. He just lets the sheriff's office have it, and he totally gives the 411, if you will, on exactly what the FBI and the Tucson Sheriff's Department thinks about each other and why. Okay, I need to check and see if the guy still has a job. But just like our sweet April said, surely when he went ahead and did that interview, he already had a plan. So I thought it was badass. You need to check it out. It was a great interview. Great interview.
So let's talk a little bit about the 24-hour change. That's interesting as well. Yesterday, the Daily Mail spoke to Sheriff Nanos, and he said 100% no one has been cleared. Elizabeth Vargas spoke with the sheriff on Friday, and the sheriff was even more strident than that. He said, no one is cleared ever. And then I'll paraphrase this. He said, until there's someone arrested. So this is a very big turn of events in this many days. And then, of course, in just 24 hours from what the Daily Mail said. So something had to change. So I asked somebody with a lot more skill than I have in what it's like on the ground in the original investigation, the strategies, the mechanics of the investigation, and the talent that shows up at an investigation to weigh in on how things are so different today than they were at least on day 3. Here's Spencer Corson, threat management expert, founder and CEO of Corson Security Group, and former Special Deputy U.S. Marshal, weighing in on that. Have a listen.
Of course I was muted. Of course. Hi, Mags. Yes, we're live. What I said when I was muted is that sure, they come out and they say days after days, the sheriff comes out and says, nobody is excluded until there's an arrest. And yet yesterday we hear, oh, the whole family's been already excluded, and their spouses and their grandchildren and any you know. What we're going to need everybody to quit doing is lying. Just stop lying to us. Just say, I would rather somebody say, I'm not talking about it, or I don't want to talk about it, or we can't talk about it, than to lie about it. Just quit lying to us. That's it. That's all you got to do. What says you, Maggie? Just quit lying to us, right? Don't tell us anything. Maggie's on mute. She probably doesn't even know she's muted too, just like me, because we're not professional here, people. Just trying to run a simple, happy little channel. All right, let's get back to it until Maggie realizes that she's muted.
One is it's not.
You hear me, like?
Son of a bitch. See there, I was muted again. Damn it. Anyways, I know that face on that guy right there, you guys, that I stopped it on. He doesn't look real cute there, but hello, fella. He's a good looking man. Yes, he is. Maggie, what says you?
Oh, girl, I had to pull the earphones out. I couldn't hear a thing through them. Anyway, I'm not going to probably make much sense. I've not long woke up and my head's all fuzzy. But listen, I don't know what's gone on. Right. But can you, is anything happened with the sheriff and anything being said to him before I say this?
Well, so I'm doing this live because I have changed my mind from this interview right here. Pretty much just started, so you haven't missed anything. The police department, the sheriff's department came out and said that all of the family has been excluded, including spouses of the children.
Yeah, seen that.
And there was something else that came out, and I forget because my mind is racked with everything that I have been researching about this case and about the people. So, Ashley Banfield dropped this about 2.5 hours ago. And so I was playing it here for everybody, and I haven't even watched it all the way through either. So you're all caught up as far as we know.
So I got something before I went to bed last night,
Tell me.
and I thought, oh my God, I've got to share. So I can't say from whose channel it is because he doesn't like you sharing. So I'll bring it up in a minute in case it's on here. But I ate it first, right? Listen, it's an exclusive from me and Lizzo, my co-host. She doesn't know yet, but we've got our own show, so do you know what? We're in competition, Gail.
Oh, are we?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just checking you've got up-to-date news, you know what I mean? Because we're not on
my panel.
Oh, Gail, I hope you haven't got this. I can't wait. I'm there waiting myself to get it on.
Do you want to tell it, or you want to wait for you and Lizzo's?
No, I'm good. No, I'm going to no, because it'll be all over the world by then. It'll be old news. I like
news. You want to bring a fresh take on everything?
Yes.
Well, we will stop this right here, and you tell us.
No. Go on. You can put it on. But I'll just say, well, you know what, Lee, that's just old news. I already had it like last night. Well, early hours this morning, I was rooting around the internet and I seen that and I went, oh my God, I couldn't wait. I couldn't wait.
Well, if she happens to bring up what you and Lizzo already know, we will bust her for it. We'll take away our subscription.
Lizzo
what you know.
It's only me because I got it and then I went to sleep.
All right, breaking news. Maggie has got some news, so you guys stick around. As soon as we're done with Ashley here, Maggie's going to she's broke the case, you guys. I didn't think it was going to happen. I told you we're not professional. We're never going to break the case. I underestimated my co-host, Maggie.
Well, I'm not going to break the case, guys. I just wish I could. I really do. Imagine that Maggie breaks the case. I mean, can you imagine that? Maggie can't break a cup, never mind the case. So I can't get over it. I'm fuming if you know it, and then I play it and you just go, but anyway, so
I'll act like I didn't know it. Do you want me to do that?
Yeah, act like you didn't know it, please.
Okay, I can do that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, and everyone in the chat, if you can all act like this is like unbelievable news you just didn't know, please, because I'm just gonna get off otherwise. And I'll just sit and drink my coffee on my own. Anyway, hello to everyone, but let me get this up. So, this is from a channel that doesn't like you sharing. So, I've cropped off their faces, okay? I've cropped off the faces. So, I've cropped off as much as I could because it was put out, so I've just clipped it, okay?
Do you want me to take that off so you can put it on the screen?
Yeah, if you don't mind, please, Lainey.
All right, Maggie.
Thanks so much.
Anything for you to break the news around here.
Yeah, just don't take the piss, Lainey, because, you know, if I break the news, you're going to look cunt, aren't you?
We'll change it to according to Maggie.
Yeah. Well, you know, I might just get my own channel soon. You know, Diamond Lucidity was right. Okay. Here goes, pin your ears back, girls, pin your ears back.
Just a slew of different questions within the case, starting with, have you been able to clear any of the Guthrie family members?
Well, I put it like this. Everybody, particularly the Guthrie family, but everybody has been very cooperative with us. We've done a number of interviews and investigations and taken DNA swabs from a number of different people. They've all cooperated with us. And we look at what their stories are and we go, okay, the real Rico case, perfect example. That young man, we got a search warrant, went search his house, and he talked to us. We thought, okay, makes sense. And we left. But is he clear? Well, no, we don't know that. We don't think there was anything else to get from them at that time. But what if we end up, because all that evidence was taken and submitted for DNA, what if that DNA at that search warrant scene shows that Nancy was there? It's not clear. So the family, I'm going to say this real careful. They are under tremendous pressure and tremendous grief. And I think it's really irresponsible for anyone to start pointing fingers that way. They have been nothing but cooperative with us.
But I think cooperative and cleared are two different things.
I know, but the evidence will take us there if that's the case. Right now, we are working close with that family, and yeah, our hearts go out to them.
So they are not cleared as of now.
Nobody's cleared.
Nobody's. Just a slew of different questions within the case, starting with, have you been just a slew of different questions within the case, starting with, have you been able to clear any of the Guthrie family members?
Well, I put it like this.
So did you hear what she said in the middle of it? So it's not the same as being cleared then, is it? Did you hear her say that?
Maggie, I think that is fantastic sleuthing.
Shut up, Leanie. She said, so it's not the same as being cleared then, is it? And they haven't been cleared.
You're right. You're absolutely right. I just went with what I had heard. I think it was Brian Enton that said that they have cleared them, cleared the family.
Well, I should have clipped that properly then, and I could see the name of the person and I thought, shit. But,
well, we already know what the sheriff looks like, Mr. Sheriff.
No, not him. The person I got it from, but they put it on because he actually says they haven't been cleared, and that was only a few hours before I went to sleep. She says halfway through that, if you read it, so it's not the same as being cleared then, is it?
Right. That's right. And we were talking about that, not about the family, because I came on here and I said that that's what the sheriff had said, that they had cleared the family, they had cleared the kids and the spouses and stuff. And when I heard that, I was like, okay, let me redo it. Let me rethink this. And so, because I have to believe that they, the law enforcement, they're trained in this. I am not. So if they tell me that they've been cleared, I have to believe them, even though I am very aware that mistakes get made. We can see that all through this case. So, but what I did say,
that he was interviewed after he'd made that statement, and he said there now, no one's being cleared. Basically, he was dead on. He was, as usual, he was uneasy with everything she was saying. He was stuttering to death.
Wow. Wow.
So shall I play it one more time so you can hear her say, so it doesn't mean the same?
Yes, but I will say that I did say this in part of the beginning of my live was, they call it, hi Justice Jane, they call it the catch and release, right? Where they detain somebody, they interview them, they do whatever they're going to do, and then they release them because they don't have anything to hold them on, right? We learned this through many, many cases. Just because somebody's been detained and let go does not mean that they are not their prime suspect. They just don't have enough to prove anything yet. So they let them go. So I told everybody in the beginning, my eyes, I'm still focusing on every person that's been, that was detained. Every person, even if the police let them go, I'm still side-eyeing them. I'm still looking, every Facebook I can look at, everything I can find, I'm looking at. And I'm taking it with a grain of salt, but I'm remembering there's a reason why they were looked at to begin with. So go ahead, Max, go ahead and play it.
I don't believe, I've said anyway, I don't believe it's any of the family, but I believe it's someone very close. Okay, I'll play it again. Sam. Hang on, Lee. Oh, God.
Just a slew of different questions within the case, starting with, have you been able to clear any of the Guthrie family members?
Well, I put it like this. Everybody, particularly the Guthrie family, but everybody has been very cooperative with us. We've done a number of interviews and investigations and taken DNA swabs from a number of different people. They've all cooperated with us. And we look at what their stories are and we go, okay, the Rio Rico case, perfect example. That young man, we got a search warrant, went search his house, and he talked to us. We thought, okay, makes sense. And we left. But is he clear? Well, no, we don't know that. We don't think there was anything else to get from him at that time. But what if we end up, because all that evidence was taken and submitted for DNA, what if that DNA at that search warrant scene shows that Nancy was there? It's not clear. So the family, I'm going to say this real careful. They are under tremendous pressure and tremendous grief. And I think it's really irresponsible for anyone to start pointing fingers that way. They have been nothing but cooperative with us.
But I think cooperative and cleared are two different things.
I know, but the evidence will take us there if that's the case. Right now, we are working close with that family, and yeah, our hearts go out to them.
So they are not cleared as of now.
Nobody's cleared.
Nobody's. Just a slew of different questions within the case, starting with, have you?
See, did you read that, Lee? So it's two different things. Being cooperative and being cleared is two different things.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm glad you found that, because I didn't know that.
Really?
I honestly did not know that. Thank you guys so much for hitting the thumbs up or double tapping your screen. So I appreciate you doing that, because that's what a lot of people do, right? They either take things out of context or they give us half the thought. Now, look, it's no secret here. Hi, Ann's Place. Hi, Let's Go, Brandon. The wisdom of the crowd is not so smart. Not sure what that means. Hi, Kells. He is horrible at this. It is no secret, you guys. I do not like that sheriff. It is. How many times just in the little bit that Maggie played that did you hear him say, "We don't know"? It's his job to know, just like Lizzo said. And I'm not going to go back over what it means to be a leader. You guys already know. You don't need me to tell you that. I come from a military background. My first 30 years of life, I was, by some approximation, in the Army. Okay. So I struggle with a man who is supposed to be a leader in a big time organization, that half of what he says he stumbles over, and the other half he says he doesn't know to. Wouldn't the smart thing as a leader just to say, I'm not talking about it? I mean, at least you don't look so fucking stupid. I mean, this guy he's just making himself look even, this isn't even a word, but neither is he a sheriff, so I'm going to use it. He's stupider. He's making himself look stupider. So I'm sorry y'all hear my puppies in the background. I've got a 4-month-old puppy, and he's learning all kind of new things. And this is my dog's living room. I have 3 dogs, 3 golden retrievers. You may not care, but I'm going to tell you anyways, because I care. I have a 6-year-old golden retriever. His name is Newt. He is the king of this castle. And then I have little girl, and she is 3 years old. And then we just got a new puppy 2 months ago, and his name is Laramie, but for some reason the chat calls him Larry, because Maggie can't say Laramie, so she calls him Larry, and which is what I'm starting to call him, and it kind of pisses me off. And then we have a cat named Wednesday. So they are my world. I am an empty nester. These dogs are my world, and so I'm in their living room. And you will hear them in the background. So I'm sorry about that, but I'm not going to hush them because it's their place. Let's see what he is. Barney 5. Hello, Lynn. He just wants to be heard on YouTube. Right? He wants to be a star. Maggie, you get are you kidding me, Maggie? Are you kidding me? Oh my God. People saying, well done, Maggie. I feel like crying something, right? Maggie,
I never get anything right,
yes,
and you never
do, you fucking liar.
Shut up. What do I get right? Go on.
You get Maggie. You are a superstar. Everybody loves you. And you are passionate.
Listen, Sheriff, I don't know. Don't be evading the question.
I'm not evading the question. You asked me what you get right.
Listen. You fucking name what I get right. Come on, I can take it, Lee. It doesn't bother me.
Listen, I can't remember yesterday. You want me to remember the last 2 years?
Exactly.
Oh, fuck off, Maggie. Nobody cares.
Shut up. Suck it.
You suck it.
You suck it. Mags. Listen, anyway, I'll take it. You know, I'll take it. I got it right. I'm like, oh, I'm getting there. Nobody cares. I know. I'm a legend.
You are a legend. Completely. You're my girl.
Listen, what do you think with that news? I made up with myself. I can't get over it.
She's made up with herself. All right, let's have a chat real quick, Max, and see what's going on up in here. I'm not going too far back because all right. Lulu. Fucking Lulu's on a rag. Lulu is raging tonight, y'all. She says, let's go, Brandon. Oh, lovely of you to enlighten us. Pray tell, what truth do you have to share with us? Wisdom less crowd. Can't wait. Oh, my God. And then Brandon replies, think, bitches. Typically, a crowdsourced theory is great. A group of thinkers providing a solution. Here we got nothing. Everyone's guessing at this point. The sheriff, law enforcement, and the crowd. We're not part of the crowd because I think the sheriff is a fucking idiot. Okay? I respect, like I've said many, many times before, I respect the office. I respect in what it represents, but I do not have to respect the person who sits in the chair. And that man, I have no respect for. He is an idiot. That's my point. There's no one to enlighten us anymore. It's a big old guessing game. That's right. But we're just going to guess. Jerry Springer thought was back. Maggie's my favorite person to fuss at. We truly do all love each other. And, but half of the love is hate. No, we don't hate each other at all. We're just good together. Did I miss anything? Hi, Gombite. No, you really haven't, other than Maggie did bring some breaking news in case you guys do not know. It's going around that the sheriff said that he has cleared the family, including the children and the spouses. Maggie just proved that that is not exactly what he said. Of course, he doesn't know what he's saying, but that's not exactly what he said at all. He kind of stumbled over his words, but he said, of course, nobody's cleared. And then he said, but we highly respect them. And listen, I got nothing for this man. Everyone's an expert until they're not. My dog more know than the pundits. Well, my dogs definitely know more. And I'm not an expert at anything other than being a smart ass and smoking. All right, let's get back to it. Max, what says you?
Not much, Dale. I'm still asleep. I'm just listening in.
All right, well,
to you. Go on.
How about we just listen to some more?
Yeah, listen to what you were playing. Sorry, Lee. I rudely come on, but I couldn't hold it in anymore.
Griffin, do not be sorry. I'm so glad you're here. Lizzo's probably thinking, how the hell is she going to take Maggie? Lizzo, you're welcome to come up too. We'll do the host, the co-host, and the co-host.
The host, the co-host, and the co-host.
Co-host. Welcome, everybody. Do me a favor, double tap your screen. All right, here we go. Let's finish listening to this. This is Ashley Banfield, y'all, and she has some good things to say, and I dig it. And I know this guy doesn't look good in this face right now, but y'all just look at him. I think he's good looking. Oh my God, like I'd hit it. Let me shut the hell up.
Is he the TMC fella?
Realm of possibility.
No, I'm not into Harvey Levin.
Well, he looks like
no, he doesn't.
Oh, he does.
No, he doesn't.
One in chat if he looks like TMC fella, guys. Come on, put a one in the chat.
I'm not sure why he's got a dick on his chest, but hey, to each their own.
Ability to go with the person who was with her last, which if that was the brother-in-law and that was the car that he drove, they would want to at least eliminate that vehicle of any possibility. And of course, you're going to look at close friends and family because this kind of a crime typically involves some kind of a grievance. On the pathway to violence, there's several key stages. There's a grievance, there's an ideation, which is that you can do something to remedy that grievance. Then you get into the research and planning, then you get into the breach, would be breaking into her home, and then finally the attack. And who typically is engaged in intimate partner violence is intimate partners, whether that be close friends or family. It's also important to keep in mind that over the course of an investigation, that investigation is going to yield insights that could go beyond what your initial conclusion was. And this is why you don't want to get too focused on confirmation bias and believing that it was a close friend or family member, and leave the opportunity or leave the window of opportunity open to have that investigation take you where the facts lead, not where your conjecture had taken you.
So Spencer is going to weigh in on a lot more of today's reporting. And let me tell you, I love when I meet someone like him because he is in the thick. He knows his business. And when he says something, it's not just conjecture. It's based on skill and experience. So here's the rest of today's reporting. Harvey Levin got another note today. This is number 4, if you're counting, not including the original note that he got, which was from the original ransom seeker, alleged ransom seeker that came in on Tuesday, right? Mrs. Guthrie goes missing on Saturday night, Sunday morning, and on Tuesday, the ransom requests start rolling in. How convenient and very unlike typical ransom takers. But that first note was, give me $4 million. And if you don't give it to me by Thursday, give me $6 million by Monday. Came and went, didn't hear from them again. And then this other guy starts sending Harvey notes. First one is, I've got information. I'm prepared to sell it for a Bitcoin, 67,000 or so. The next one is, you're not taking me seriously. You should take me seriously. And that third one, I believe, was that this is the last time you'll hear from me. Apparently not. We got a fourth note. All right, let me read verbatim from the actual note that TMZ received. Quote, I saw Savannah's latest video and my heart goes out to her. It really does. But I cannot turn myself in, leaving my family unprotected and broke, especially now that I'm being hunted. I know what I saw 5 days ago, south of the border, and I was told to shut up. So I know who he is. And that was definitely Nancy with them. Okay. So
let's hold on here just a second. I don't know what you guys think about all these letters, the whole ransom thing. I think everybody knows how I feel about it. But one thing that I thought about when stupid TMZ got this letter again is, or claims to have another letter again, and they probably do. I'm not saying they don't. I think they probably do. I just think that it's, you know, same. The guy in California that was arrested for jumping in on the letter. Well, he didn't send a letter. He actually sent a text or a phone call to Tabasco, whatever the fuck his name is. And I think there's people that could be jumping onto it like that. But it also made me wonder because we went over Savannah Guthrie's latest video that she put out on her Instagram where she's talking by herself. And to me, we listened to it a couple times. It's all in code. It's all in code. I'm not sure who she's addressing. If it doesn't seem like she's addressing her mom, it seems more to me that she's addressing someone who has to do with her mom's disappearance. And then I got to thinking, I wonder how many letters or emails they got. I don't think the letters or the emails or whatever are stopping at TMZ. I think the ones that are going to TMZ, you guys, that is not a news source. TMZ is the paparazzi. They always have been. They're not news. notice how the news station right there in Tucson only got 2 letters in the very beginning. Now they're just copycatting and sending them to TMZ. Why? You think you're going to get taken more seriously by giving it to Harvey Levin? I think I would try to get it to the family. And on top of that, if it was really an abduction for a ransom, wouldn't you have just left a letter behind? Wouldn't you have just, when you're taking Nancy out of the house, left the letter there and not waited 3 to 4 days to send a ransom note out? I mean, when have you ever heard of that happening? Not saying it can't happen, but I'm clicking everywhere going, oh, not all of my spidey senses, and I don't even have any, are going off.
So this ransom fella, whoever it is, woman, whoever is writing these, it's not the ones who've taken it. This is someone who's supposed to have seen what's going on and has seen Nancy.
Right, but what I'm saying is, I think, to me, it's just not real. I'm not saying he's not getting letters. I'm not questioning that. What I'm saying is, I think it's people like the guy in California who's just trying to jump on the bandwagon and get something from it.
But wouldn't they have already been rumbled? Wouldn't they have rumbled them by now?
Not necessarily.
And it's the same one. They're saying it's the same one. It's from the same person. So that's what making me think it is real, because they haven't got him.
But the difference is, the reason why the guy in California got caught is because he actually called Tomato's phone. Who does that? You fucking idiot.
I know.
You know what I mean? So who's to say that these, I'm not saying they're not real. They literally have an email or a letter or whatever. It's tangible. They're holding it.
But I get what you mean. Yeah, I know.
Is the person that's sending them or behind them
genuine? I get what you mean.
A part of all of the, I think they're just jumping on a bandwagon to try to get something out of it.
Yeah, yeah.
The guy in California, Mary Jane Doe, who got arrested for calling his phone and saying that he was part of the ransom. He didn't say I'm part of the ransom. All he said, he was only on there for like 2 seconds, and he said, "Did you get the Bitcoin yet?" And they got him right away. Fucking idiot. So I think that's why they haven't been able to, and I'm not saying that they will ever be able to, but they might be able. I hope they catch them. I hope they do. I do think that whoever we see that's on that porch right now, I think they already know who it is.
I just think the only way to fully believe it, otherwise to think, yeah, it is someone just trying to cash in, is to, why not get a picture of her to prove either way? There must be some type of picture. If he knows all that, right? Or did he just say there, I know, I did see her. So has he got a glimpse of it or whatever?
I think it's just all that. I think these people are so stupid, just like the guy in California. They're not thinking it through. They're just thinking that the Guthrie family is just going to drop money. And I
still think, though, my last thought is, I think because he's done this now a few times, that with all this technology, why haven't they found him? Why haven't they got him?
Is he in another country?
Would that make a difference?
Would it? I don't know. I don't know. I'm not the FBI. I don't understand computers that well. I don't understand computers at all. Y'all know that. Maggie knows that. Whenever me and Maggie's got to do something on StreamYard, we put our husbands on the phone together so they could fix it for us, because we're just that retarded when it comes to the stuff. So I don't know, but can't
you get one of those? It's a VPN where it doesn't say where you are.
See, I don't understand the VPN.
I don't know how you get one, but I know you can get something called a VPN, which doesn't show where you are. And I'm sure even the cops can't find where the VPN is.
Yeah, I don't know anything.
Does anyone know in the chat?
I've heard Beefcake mention VPN, but I don't know what it means, but I just act like I'm listening. But I'm not, because I mean, he's talking out of my realm of capacity of my brain. So, and I just don't have the want to find out what a VPN is because I don't
Well,
plan on using one.
Anne says people who knows can totally hide themselves online, that even the military can't find them. And that's the scary thing, is you can. There's ways, means and ways, but I'm just thinking with so much against them, as I thought by now, if this was fake or even they just want to know, they want to get this guy, whether it's scam or not, that they're no nearer to getting him.
I agree. Lizzo says, I use one when I want to access American sites that the UK blocks. Jill, hello, good to see you. Thank you for your comment. Says, VPN can appear to change your location for IP address. So by you saying appear, that tells me that somebody can unlock it. That if you're smart, I mean, there's hackers, you guys, that they know all kind of shit.
Jill says, I can't believe it. I'm 77 and I understand the VPN. Well, I don't. I haven't got a clue. I mean, I know when I'm told about it. I would never know how to access one or use it. That's what I'm saying. I know about a little about it, but that's it. But it wouldn't know how to access it.
April says, but the FBI should be able to find them. I would think so too. I mean, they always say that U.S. is leaps and bounds in the technology department ahead of most of the world. I don't know what kind of technology the FBI and sheriffs has to go around VPN. I think we've got cybersecurity, right? We've got different departments of the FBI that do handle stuff like this. Your IP address changes all the time. I did not know that.
Yeah, I knew.
I didn't know that. I thought as long as you had the same computer, that your IP address would stay the same. If you got a different computer, that's how it changed. I didn't know that.
I think if you now, hang on, don't quote me on here and laugh at me, right? But I think every time you like go off for the night or whatever, and then you go back on, start your computer up again, it's a different IP address. Am I right, anyone, or am I wrong? I'm sure that's it.
If that's the case, then Harvey Levin said that the latest communication with this person who says that they saw Nancy over the border, they know that it's from the same person because the way that he types the words he uses, the things that he says, and it comes from the same IP address.
Might have closed his computer.
So you actually have to shut down.
Think you've got to shut it down, and when you restart it, it's a new IP address. As far as I know, let's see what the chat
for the love of God, is that all I've got to do to troll people?
I don't know.
I'm probably trolling a long time ago. Y'all just shut down my damn computer, changed my name.
I could have got it wrong. Hang on.
So go ahead, read that for me. I'm losing my voice.
Hang on. You could use anything with Wi-Fi service. You can buy something stolen. It could never be traced to you. Go to an area with open Wi-Fi at night and you would never be able to trace me.
Oh, wow.
And Jill said, it's supposed... Hang on. I bounced up there. It bounces off many towers, hiding your IP address. VPN changes location. Oh, don't even go there, April. Don't confuse me. I am praying for the truth to be revealed, Carolyn says. Jill says, it's supposed to protect you, but it's easy to disable it. RRT08 said you could send this from any public library or local to your college at their library, free use of their computers. April says, like in the movies where they are tracking someone and their location keeps changing to other countries. Sojo says the FBI can delete a VPN. Jill says, I go into Norton's 360, which is shite, by the way, Jill, and change my VPN. Go to location. Yeah. Oh, my husband hates.
These guys y'all are so damn smart. Listen what Ann says. She said you can use it in a way that goes through literally thousands of computers before it reaches whom they want too, so it's very hard to find the real computer he's working from, Lee.
Yeah.
Y'all are so damn smart. So trolling is easier than I thought it was. Oh,
Well, dear,
hell.
it's just having your little co-host there, it's teaching you some stuff.
See, there you said that you don't bring anything to the game. Well, here
Well,
we
it's
go.
the only
Remember this
fucking time
always.
I have, Lainey, in
Remember
2.5
this always.
years.
I just want you to know that.
Okay, I'll take that.
No, I really did not know that. But you guys, I don't care to know, like I'm sure there's a lot in like different household cleaners that I know that you just don't care to know about, but I know them, because
She knows all about them cleaners.
that's my
And
jam.
Jill says, well, I can't troll. Well, neither can we. But we're just talking about VPNs, which we don't really know much about, and
We don't
IP
know.
addresses. We know about them, we wouldn't know how to access them or use them. I mean, how do you go about getting a VPN? I mean, Liz knows. She's just said she knows. I wouldn't have it. I mean,
Well,
I could ask my husband. My husband knows, but I've had no reason to ever get one, so I wouldn't know what understands about it. But there you go. And said that's why the police can't shut down the dark web. They've been trying
that
to
makes
use to find who it belongs to, but they can't see. So that's what I'm saying about the pretend kidnapper.
That makes so much sense to me now. Thank you for saying that, Anne. Well, that kind of just puts a damper on the whole thing, though, right? Because I've been saying they're going to find them, but when you think about it, I mean, we don't know everything. Even the best of the best doesn't know everything. Hi, Zombie.
The way ahead with this technology, and I'm sitting here thinking all the time, surely they know. But I mean, if he's not the person, does he seem to know a little bit? Are they watching him to get to the big guys? Who knows? I don't know.
Jill, you are brilliant and you did help us. Thank you for that, because seriously, Maggie and I struggle so much when it comes to computers. We've about got the StreamYard figured out, I think, for the most part. But God help us if Maggie or I ever completely log out of it. We're going to have to put the men back on this and figure this out for us. Don't mix the cleaners. I know which ones to mix, which ones not to. I learned that the hard way.
Took my breath away. Couldn't breathe.
Sally Jane, so thank you so much for coming in. I was going to talk about that earlier, but I wanted to wait. Robert Duvall died, and now Jesse Jackson. I didn't know Jesse Jackson died. Robert Duvall was one of my favorite actors of all time. I love that man. I named an animal after that man, and if I name an animal after you, believe me, you got my heart forever. I loved him, and when my husband texted me last night and told me that he'd passed, first of all, I didn't know he was 95 years old. I had no clue he was that old. So God rest his soul. God bless him. God bless him and may rest in peace, because I thought he was a great man. Jesse Jackson as well. God bless him. God bless his family. May he rest in peace. All right. So we're going to get right back to this. My son is a tech guy. We know so much.
Sorry, love. Beth's sending posts and we can't see them, Liz said.
Is she over here? Where's she at? Because I can't see that. Beth, come into the regular YouTube. So what I have figured out about it, because I did some research today, both of them are ran by YouTube, not StreamYard. It is regular YouTube, which if you just go to my YouTube channel and you click on the one that does not have the phone next to it, then you will be in chat where most of my mods are. And where Maggie and I are. There are two lives running. One will show a little tiny icon of a phone or an emoji of a phone. That is the vertical live that goes out to people that aren't in our algorithm or who have maybe never heard about our channel. That's going to go out there. The ones that are in our YouTube, just on my regular YouTube channel, that's going to go out to people who have their bells clicked and people who have subbed and people that maybe have visited once or twice might see it. So that's what it's about, guys. Now you know. So
Lizzie says they're not there. She's checked the two.
Okay, well then that's got to be on her end, or YouTube is doing something, because like I said,
Yeah,
there are
sounds
times
weird.
we see stuff and there's times that we don't. That's just, I don't know why, but that was even before we ever started streaming on two different sides.
Mm-hmm.
There would be times and everybody would be like, what? Well, people would be
Oh,
like, why don't
she's
you
in.
see?
She's in this one. Sorry, Leanie, but her comments aren't showing, so it must
Well,
be a YouTube thing.
yeah, because usually when you use a word that YouTube blocks, it won't, it does that to me too sometimes, and it is random.
Yeah.
Because there's been many times that people have said, I was in your live the other night and you weren't speaking to me or you're mad or whatever. And I was like, never even saw you. Never. Because I wouldn't do that to people. Tell her to go out and try to come back in. Go out and try to come back in, Bethy, and see if that'll work. Thank you so much. Jill says, Tomato is not the guy in the mask. His nose is too big and his beard is too full on the chin. I've never thought it was him, but I did think that he was behind them. I wouldn't think that he would do it. I think it would be too easy for his family to recognize him. But I did believe, and maybe I still do now that I know that the sheriff did not come out and say completely. Well, I think he was talking out of two sides of his ass, but he didn't come completely out and say that the family was cleared like we all thought. Let's get back into this, you guys. Keep going with this. You don't see Beth in the vertical. Okay, thank you guys. All right, this is Ashley Banfield, and her YouTube channel is Drop Dead Serious. You guys subscribe. I know right here it says I didn't subscribe. I am subscribed to her, but I'm subscribed to her on the big screen. There, I subbed up to her here too. Now she's got 2 more subs.
Again, this guy's only been sending these notes to TMZ, not to the local Tucson TV stations, and not to the family. Not typical for ransom, serious ransom people in the business of ransom. And by the way, Spencer's going to weigh in on this as well, which is interesting. But Harvey decided to turn the tables. And I think this is interesting. He made a direct appeal saying, number one, if you didn't do this, you're committing a crime and you're in a whole world of shit. My words. You're in a lot of trouble. It's very, very illegal. And number two, how about this? Send us the information at TMZ. We will take it to the FBI. And you will have the chain of custody that you were the person that gave them that information. And if it bears out, you will get the money because we can prove that you were the person who actually gave us the information. So checkmate? I don't know. I think it was really quick and smart. But I also think these people are full of shit. I do. I think these are, again, and I'm not the only one, people who are.
I agree, Ashley. They're full of shit. They're capitalizing. You're right. You're right, girl. Go ahead. When you're true, you're true.
Money out of the Guthrie family. So next up is the DNA. Because this has been a huge deal, right? So much has been made about the glove that was found 2 miles away from Nancy Guthrie's home, side of the road. It resembles the glove in the video. That's why it's of interest, okay? I don't know why the FBI has zeroed so much into that particular glove, other than it looks like the one on the doorbell cam. And I'm wondering if there's more to it, because Steve Fisher, who's a private investigator in California, he zeroed in on the finger of one shot on the doorbell video of the guy with the balaclava. And it looked like there was a hole in the finger. It's hard to tell, but it kind of looks like it might be a hole. And it also happened after the suspect grabbed at the thistle or the vine and pulled it up. And maybe there was something that pricked a hole in the finger of that glove. And maybe, just maybe, that glove had a hole in the finger. I don't know. But for whatever reason, they've zeroed in saying that that one is special. That glove is being tested at the Florida lab, okay? And the DNA profile that comes back pretty quickly has a chain of custody. So let me read to you a little bit about why this matters, and then we'll get into what the words actually mean. So Libby Dean from News Nation and Michael Ruiz from Fox News Channel both got this same statement from an FBI official. And it says the DNA from the glove in Nancy Guthrie's case is still undergoing quality control in the sheriff's private lab in Florida after being sent from Tucson on February 12th. It is expected to be inputted into CODIS in the near future. Quality control, we've heard that before. So Libby Dean also got this further reporting, and this is what she says. And she's from News Nation. She's a great reporter in Washington. She said the decision to send the glove with DNA to a private lab in Florida is causing what one source familiar with the case calls, quote, unnecessary delays in getting the DNA entered into the FBI's CODIS database. That's because the FBI does not accept DNA submissions directly from private labs. Instead, once testing is complete in Florida, it is likely the DNA data extracted must first be sent back to the state system in Arizona, where it can be uploaded and becomes shareable with the FBI for entry into CODIS. That extra step adds time, creating what the source describes as a catch-up process, when the FBI could have processed and entered the data within a day, according to the source. This sounds a little bit more like the sniping that's been going on between the feds and the locals. There are some definitely on location in the field in Tucson who've been taking a bite out of the sheriff, saying that he's not playing in the sandbox well. The sheriff has pushed back on that, saying we work very well together and we continue to work well together. And the FBI actually okayed the idea that the glove went down to the private lab. Let me just tell you this. On 2/12, the FBI was in the mix. So that glove went to Florida with the FBI pretty much in tow, that's the right place for it to go because all the rest of the other evidence is there. Something else you may have heard of today or earlier on today is that the house that was raided on Friday night, where a woman and a young man, presumably mom and son, were taken out so that a search could happen, and that another person related to them, possibly her other son, was detained at a parking lot nearby. And there was a silver Range Rover. Whether he owned it or whether he was connected to it, not entirely definitive at this point, but it was towed away. He was detained and they were all released, right? There was a car in their driveway that was damaged and had a blue tarp over it. And you can see it in Brian Enton's video when he walks up to the front door to knock and see if they talk. They didn't. But he made a comment about the car that had some damage there. So there was video of a flatbed truck ready to take that vehicle out. JLR, who's a live streamer on YouTube, shot that video, but there were no police vehicles nearby, which is a clue that this may not be a police action. Right. Very coincidental that it's only a couple of days after this massive raid at their home. But then Michael Ruiz came in again with some killer reporting from the field, again, Fox Digital. And he said this: there was a vehicle with what appeared to be significant front end damage in Placida de Rogelio driveway yesterday. And this morning at the home, we believe police visited Friday. It's not there now. And then he gives a credit to Dugan Ramirez. And so then Michael Ruiz has an update and he says a neighbor tells at C_Dugan Ramirez that the car was towed at the direction of State Farm, not law enforcement, because it was totaled in a crash last week. That's very interesting. And it makes sense because, again, no law enforcement vehicles were there along with that flatbed truck. So let's put an end to that. But interestingly, Brian Enton comes in with even more reporting today. Super interesting about this raid on Friday night. Yes, we heard the sheriff. 3 people detained, no arrests. But Brian Enton is saying that his sources are telling him there's some meat on the bones of that raid and that investigation, and that they are still going over evidence, electronics, and even DNA in that piece of their investigation. So it's really fascinating. Also, I learned about a guy named Dave Kennedy.
All right, guys, just have to stop and commentate every now and then so I don't get my channel taken away from me. I'll be very brief. I like how she just cleared up the fact about that car. We did see it in the Brian Enton video. We did hear JLR talk about it. In fact, we made mention of the car when we were watching it together, and somebody actually said to me, Lainey, it looks like that car's been in a wreck. And I said, possibly that might be airbags that had come out. They look like they'd come out the front of the car. we have to be careful what we're inserting into crimes. And we see this all too often. Oh my God, everybody's speculating, everybody's sus. And I'm not lying. There's things that I'm sus too, but when I suspect something, I try to find information on it, and then make my opinion from there. There's just this is how lives get ruined. This is how innocent people, and I've been guilty of it as well, calling Tomato Tomasco, whatever the fuck his name is, that I believe he is the mastermind of all of this. And even though I've said I could be wrong, but I did throw his name out there on my channel. And so I'm just as guilty of it. And I have to be careful of that. And I am mindful, like even the other day when Maggie and Liz were running a live and they were showing some work that Beth Investigates had done an overlay. And I wanted just to make sure that we put out there that this is us showing you what we have looked into and how we're seeing things. And just because we say this is our opinion doesn't make it factual. It's just an opinion, just like the rest of you have. So I'm so glad she put that out there. I think that to me is good broadcasting, when they will say, look, we were all suspect about that car, and this is the truth. This is the history of it. So I think we need to do more of that. If somebody's throwing up a name or a car or a glove, you know what I mean? Like, look into it for yourself and then make your own decision before you make it public.
Last night, last night, she gave a little bit of details about the guy, Daly, and she got the names wrong, and then she came back and she said she was sorry, she'd made a mistake, she made it clear, it was put up on the screen, just to, because we can all say things that are wrong, and as soon as we find out, you've got to let people know straight away.
Yeah, you just, and there's no shame in that. There's actually, it shows more integrity to be able to say, y'all got that totally wrong. And I've done the same thing with my side by side of guys. And first they said, look, where I have found this, and I'm not saying my sources because I don't have anybody out here working for me. Now, I have a group of people that work together and try to bounce off each other, things like that. When we do this, yes, we do. But do all of us agree on the same things? No, we don't. And we don't have to. But when I went looking for this person of interest, I found a couple of pictures that I shared with the group, thinking it was the same person. And I told y'all, side by side, same person. And it absolutely wasn't. And it was actually a sub that we just met recently that has started coming in that sent me an email to show me and prove to me. And I was like, wow, thank you so much. So there's nothing wrong with being wrong at all. Just own it. Own your shit. Own your shit. I dig it. I really do.
Kennedy. He goes by Hacking Dave because he was a hacker, and he actually has a extraordinary security business now. He's behind the technology of the signal sniffer. Go figure. He is the guy who gave the feds his technology to put on the skids of their helicopter to fly around to see if it might pair up with Nancy's pacemaker. At the time, I thought, oh my God, the pacemaker and the phone are like, 8 to 30 feet. You can't get within 30 feet of a house and a chopper. And as it turns out, you don't have to. I learned that Dave Kennedy's technology can actually do a handshake with that exact pacemaker. That pacemaker has its own address at 800 to 1,000 feet. And then just one quick addition. I should mention it just because it's making headlines. The president weighed in and threatened the kidnapper with the death penalty, but you should also know that that is a state decision. And yes, Arizona does have the death penalty, but that would be Arizona prosecutors if they find the person. And of course, one other key element here, Mrs. Guthrie would have had to die. This would have had to be considered a murder in order for the death penalty to attach. So it's just important to put context into a statement like that. So I just wanted to make sure you all knew that as well. But before I get to Spencer and his remarkable brain, I mean, this guy, threat management expert, former special deputy U.S. Marshal. This guy knows everything about investigations and tracking bad guys. I want to thank my sponsors who make this podcast possible. Also, hit the subscribe button. It is such a solid for me. I'd so appreciate it. And Cook Unity has been a great partner, and I really like them. This has been a lifesaver to my 16-hour schedule lately. They're the world's first chef.
Let's get past all the people that give her money. Congratulations, Ash. Listen, girl, do your thing. I'm fixing about me and Maggie. I'm gonna sell Maggie's feet pictures on OnlyFans. When times get tight around here, according to Leanie, Maggie's going to OnlyFans, just the way it's going out, because she's got sexier feet than I do. Just saying.
What do you make of this report that the FBI is going around to Tucson gun stores with 40 names and 40 photographs, asking if someone in that store has seen anybody come in or purchased a weapon there?
40 people is well outside the framing of usual suspects and goes more to shooting a fish in a barrel. 40 people is not exactly a narrow, you haven't really narrowed things down at that point. I mean, you can ask somebody if they've remembered one person, maybe two, but if you start showing 40 photos to someone, they're going to get really confused as to who's who, especially if they look even remotely similar to each other.
And that's the pragmatic effect of the actual gumshoe work. But what about just the collection of having 40 different people? Do you suspect they're all people of slight interest or more interest, or might there be some extra people thrown in there like they do in a lineup?
It could be both. I think what's most likely is Occam's razor, right? The most simple explanation is probably the most realistic. So I think they went through their files and looked through anyone who was stopped and questioned, or any suspicious behavior, or anyone who maybe was pulled over for vagrancy or shoplifting or some kind of like frivolous crimes, who matched the height, the weight, and the description of this particular individual, pulled all those photos, took them around and said, let's start fishing.
Let's move to the other huge issue today, and that was that the Pima County Sheriff cleared the Guthrie family, the children and their spouses. And that's a big deal because early on, I had reporting from a very high-level law enforcement source in that area that they had not only towed the car of the brother-in-law and sister, but that they'd also zeroed in on him. The wording they used was maybe the prime suspect now. That was all within like 48 hours of the disappearance. What do you make of that now changing completely?
One is it's not outside the realm of possibility to go with the person who was with her last, which if that was the brother-in-law and that was the car that he drove, they would want to at least eliminate that vehicle of any possibility. And of course, you're going to look at close friends and family, because this kind of a crime typically involves some kind of a grievance. On the pathway to violence, there's several key stages. There's a grievance, there's an ideation, which is that you can do something to remedy that grievance. Then you get into the research and planning, then you get into the breach, would be breaking into her home, and then finally the attack. And who typically is engaged in intimate partner violence is intimate partners, whether that be close friends or family. It's also important to keep in mind that over the course of an investigation, that investigation is going to yield insights that could go beyond what your initial conclusion was. And this is why you don't want to get too focused on confirmation bias and believing that it was a close friend or family member, and leave the opportunity or leave the window of opportunity open to have that investigation take you where the facts lead, not where your conjecture had taken you.
So talk to me about the conjecture and the confirmation bias. Do you think that might have been at play here with these detectives?
Absolutely. I think that we have a police department that over the past several years has lost a lot of their really key members. I think I read somewhere that the average career time of an officer in that area is about 3 years. And that is, especially if they are not used to dealing with this kind of crime, may be outside of their everyday skill set. One of the things that I'm asked to do in my work as an expert witness is differentiate between competence or incompetence and negligence. And that can really be only determined by what was known at the time.
So it's interesting you say that, because one of the former homicide detectives in the Pima County Sheriff's Department, his name is Kurt Dabb, he has been on record saying that these guys are very young and inexperienced. He's not throwing shade on them. He's just saying a lot of really good talent left. After 2020, there was this mass exodus, and it's been backfilled by younger, less experienced guys. So if you take that to the very first day when the homicide detectives showed up, tell me from your expertise what you could see playing out.
I mean, you'd really have to be there on the ground, but it's within the realm of reason that if you have a police department, a sheriff's department especially, who mostly does evictions and serves warrants and does traffic stops and does domestic violence calls, that this could be something that's completely outside of their everyday realm of experience. And when you have people who are operating outside of their subject matter expertise, mistakes get made.
If they had locked in on one suspect, in this case, the brother-in-law, in those first 48 hours, does it stand to reason that they would call off the search, that they would return the house to the family, and that they would tow the brother-in-law and sister's car so soon, so quickly into the investigation?
Well, I think this goes back to saying, how much experience did these officers have? You're only going to clear the house if you believe that you have gleaned all of the forensic data that you could. Once that has been cleared and turned back over to the family, because the reason you want to make sure you have all that evidence beforehand is because you don't want to recontaminate the crime scene. But if it turns out that they didn't have everything that they thought they had, or if there was some level of negligence involved in clearing that house, that could have real repercussions in impacting the outcome of the investigation.
Well, and that seems to maybe have borne out when the FBI arrived and then showed back up and put the crime scene tape back up. And since then, there have been these scattershot efforts to glean forensic information. A white tent even went up in the last few days to glean information from that front entry. It's just sort of fascinating to also go back to day 2, which would be Monday after Mrs. Guthrie was reported missing. And the sheriff called off the search, and he said permanently. And I remember sort of doing a double take at the time thinking, permanently? Why would you call off a search so soon? What does it speak to you?
Well, we touched on a couple of things there. First, getting back to the white tent, that goes back to, did they collect all of the physical evidence and all of the intelligence that they had at the time? The reason that the FBI put up that white tent was so that they could recreate the conditions that existed on the ground at the time of the attack. They brought in another Nest camera that was identical to the one that Nancy used. They blocked out all the light as best they could so they could reenact the situation and the circumstances that were involved at that time. On that camera, since there was no light, they were dependent on the infrared features of that camera. So it looks like that person's wearing all black, but was he really wearing purple? Was he wearing navy blue? Was he wearing a dark gray? That it just looked black on that camera. And so they're recreating the conditions and the environment of that moment so that they can get as much intelligence as possible. That was obviously something that the police department did not think to do at the time.
But I would think they would use a black tent for that, because a white tent would let in so much light, there'd be nothing even close to resembling the conditions of 1:47 a.m. or 2:12 a.m., whichever time it was that front door activity happened.
Well,
I'm sorry, Benny Lahana. Let me look up really quick at what you guys said. Let me just say this. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I appreciate you so much. Do me a favor, hit the thumbs up, the thumbs down. That's all I ask. That's it. You don't have to do anything, but that's all that we ask in this channel that you do. The crime scene, the freaking crime scene. I love what Med77 says here. I would have to agree, but use common sense and secure the crime scene. Call in someone more experienced if you are not. That's the most professional way and responsible way to do your job. Listen, Maggie and I have said it, and Liz has said it. People that have been on the panel talking about this, people have been on the sidelines talking about it. Catching the guy is just the first hurdle, but the hardest hurdle I believe that there's going to be is to secure a conviction. And I don't care how much evidence they have, the defense is going to use everything the police did wrong in defense. And number one, they called off the search in 30 hours. And there wasn't even a real search done. They searching the perimeter in the house, and that's it. They didn't even go across the street. We know that. And then to release the crime scene not once, not twice, but 3 times, that's unheard of. What says you, Max?
Well, listen, I've been staring at the screen, right, and I've been going a bit drifting, I'm going to be honest. I've been searching at the screen because I've written a note, and I'm terrified the note's going to go missing, even though it won't, but I'm just scared. So I want to rewind back, right, to all these gloves found. Why on earth are these cops who were out searching not issued with special bags that have their numbers on or whatever, that they've got to dispose of their gloves in this bag, seal them, and then put them in whatever when they finish the search to eliminate those straight away?
Cross-contamination?
In what way? What do you mean?
So are you asking me why they just didn't put all the gloves that they found into one bag? Is that what you're saying?
No.
Oh, okay.
Say for example, when the cops go searching or people the cops have got searching, they are all issued with a special bag that has their number, their identification number on. And when they're finished doing the searching, they have to go in their own bags and then put into a container of whatever. So they're all the people that was doing the search, or the cops, whatever, that they should always be issued with a bag to eliminate them straight away.
I think that would be lovely. But here, let's just be real about it. How many cops do we know that are they're killers themselves? How many
God,
cops,
yeah, true.
How many? So if we aren't even looking at the cops' gloves, then that would be the number one mistake that we're doing.
Yeah.
Second of all, what really needs to be said. Now, I don't believe all of these. Like, they showed us all the green, the blue, the red gloves. Do I believe all those were cops? No, that may be just searchers out there. But that's why you got to have somebody who's over. You got to have a lead dog, right, in the pack. And then you have the little dogs, the little roughs, and you give them little packs, and then you give them little packs. So somebody's always in charge of a search. And that person, the number one thing they should say right away is, do not drop a cigarette butt, do not drop a glove, do not drop a piece of hair in the search, because you're going to make it more difficult for the investigators when we bring in stuff, or when people come back to. And
I'm not being funny. If I was running it, I'd say, don't drop a ciggy. So whatever you do, don't drop this, don't drop that, because otherwise you're getting dragged in, and the cop should be made to give a DNA. Just saying. And then you see, I'd be good if I run it. And here's another thing, right? I know man was a bit crazy then, but you know when they said one of the gloves they found was special or something along those lines, they found something special, or what was it they said? Interesting. One of the gloves were interesting. I'm thinking, I wonder if you remember when he tore the plant up to cover the ring bell, maybe it had that plant on it. Dun, dun, dun. And that's why it was a bit special. Do you think? From Binance's?
I think anything is possible. I think nothing is out of the realm of possibilities. And that is why we have to continue talking about it. Because my theory is not 100% right. Your theory is not 100% right. But together, when we talk about it, not that it's going to make a difference, because nobody's out there listening to According to Leanie but us. But together, maybe we can make some sense of something that is so disgusting, because this is disgusting from word go, from the crime to how the crime is being treated. Let me jump in chat, because I think this is what Benet was asking me. There are rumors that Nancy had personal information on her computer involving high up people. Is that true? I think the best person to answer that would be Maggie and Lizzo, because they've done a lot of research into the Medicaid fraud, Medicare fraud. I'm not sure which one it is. They've done a lot of research into her line of work and what she was looking at. And we also know that people are coming out and talking about how Savannah Guthrie's name is on the list, Epstein. So I'm well aware that that's also going around. Have the police come out and said anything? I try not to believe rumors unless I hear it from the police, the family members, key players in the game. I can come up with my own theories. I surmise my own theories. At this point, I do not believe any part of Nancy's work had anything to do with this. The reason why I say it is because I think that the people that went into that house are nothing but low life, just they don't know what the hell they're doing. They're trying to pull off a big crime, and they're just really, they're not good at it. And I think if the FBI had been given a call that first day, that things would have been turned out a different way. I think the crime scene would have never been released. And I think things would have been done way different than they were. It would have been done backwards. It would have been done forwards. So, yeah, I would think that if this had anything to do with Nancy's line of work, it would have been bigger people coming in and doing this crime. That's just my opinion. Now, I know Maggie can speak on it. I know that she thinks that it could have something to do with it. What says you, Mags? I know you and Liz have really looked into that and discussed it at length.
Yeah, well, we tried to, but we couldn't pull anything up because we're not in your country. I seen this, heard it on one of the channels about a week into the case, saying that the intruder had a walk around Nancy's house looking for things. I don't know what. We know that there wasn't anything stolen. But there was important papers that Nancy was proven that Nancy was involved in, and it was people high up in. Now, I thought it was the pharmaceuticals, something to do with pharmaceuticals. But Benny, I can't find anything on it at all, except saying that it could have been linked to the Epstein files. So that's just speculation. I don't know. I haven't got a clue. That's all I can tell you. But Meg and Lizzo both have looked and we can't find anything. And there's a lot of information we can't get to because we're not in your country. So that's all I can tell you on that one. Carol Thomas, okay, so you're the crazy because I didn't say that was going to solve the case. What I said was, maybe you're not understanding my accent. What I said was, I wonder, they said one of the gloves that they found was of interest to, a special interest to them or something along those lines. Don't quote my exact words. So I was just thinking, I wondered if it could have been when he ripped the plant house, obviously it was that plant. So that could be one of the reasons. I'm not going to say that was the sole reason that they think that was the glove. So I hope you misunderstood and you wasn't being sarcastic. I'd like to think you misunderstood. So there you go, Carol. Over to you, Leni.
All right. Thank you guys so much for being here. We appreciate you so much. I do take a little bit of offense to this, and Maggie was so nice about it. I'm kind of pissed, to tell you the truth, and I'm trying to watch my words. And Carol, I really hope you're not in here anymore, because if that's what you're going to come in here with, calling someone crazy with the accent, I just think that's just, who does that? You don't go into someone's home and start offending people. You walk in their home, you say hello, you sit down, and then give us what you think. No matter where she's from or what she sounds like, shouldn't have even come into that. And I think she has a lovely voice. And we've been doing this for 2 years together, 2 years. And So don't come into our home being rude and being an asshole, because I just don't put up with it. You're welcome to your thought on whatever you think, but don't come in here and be a dickhead, or a helmet. How you like that English word that I learned? Don't come in here with your dick comments, because we're not putting up with them. Not doing it. So there's the door. See your way out. If the mods haven't thrown you out yet, I hope they have. Especially Maggie. No one's allowed to be mean to Maggie except for me. And believe me, I take a lot of shit for being mean to Maggie, even when I'm not even being mean to her. But I mean, it's just what people have labeled me as. So that pisses me off. It really does piss me off.
Don't worry, Lake. Don't worry.
No,
I'm not offended. I'm really not offended, honestly, because
I don't care if you're offended.
Me. I think she's put a comment in and just left straight away. It's just, you just get people coming to like causing trouble.
I know, but I don't like it. I don't care if you say anything. Just like you, if somebody comes in here and is just rude and tells me to shut the hell up, we've heard you go off on them, and that's not the thing. We're not trying to do that. We let a lot of shit go that we see in the chat, because we know the mods got it. Our business is to run this panel and to try to put on a decent show that people will be interested in as well. And it's the mods' business to make sure chat runs well, and they do a fantastic job at it. Most of the time, Maggie and I don't even ever see anything. We don't know anything. But if I do see something like that and you're being Maggie to that, you're being mean to Maggie, it's just not going to happen. I'm going to punch you in the balls every time. Every time. You're not allowed to be mean to Mags. She's the sweetest, most kindest person on this earth. And I don't mean that because she's my friend, because if she was if she was the biggest cunt on this earth, I would let you know that too, but she's really not. She's the sweetest person on this earth. And that's the truth. So let's carry on, and let me get a cigarette, because I'm being a little bitchy, ain't I?
Well, thank you. Thank you for the vote of confidence, Gail. Thank you, as always.
You're welcome, sister. No problem. No problem. They can fuck right off, Maggie. Hey, should we do a song? Let's do a song. Let's do a song. Here we go, everybody. This one is for... Here we go. This is who we really are around here. And then maybe I won't have to say nothing. This is going to offend some of you if you're easily offended. Close your ears right now. Come back in just a minute. I mean, this is your only trigger warning you're getting. Why can't I find it? Why can't I bring it up, Mags? Can you bring it up? It won't even, you know the song. You know our
song. Yeah, I'm looking for it now.
Give us just a minute.
Everybody's a bit of a cunt sometimes. Everybody's a bit of a cunt sometimes. We're bastards and we're gits. We're wankers and we're shits. But sometimes that is just one word that absolutely fits. Everybody's a bit of a cunt sometimes. A fact that any Catholic won't deny. I once shagged my girlfriend's sister. My gran's dead. I've never missed her. Ooh, what a cunt. Everybody's a bit of a cunt sometimes.
Seriously, Steve, fuck off.
Everybody's a bit of a cunt sometimes. Everybody's a bit of a cunt sometimes. See the beggar passing by, make a kiddie cry. You're in your father's will, when's he gonna fucking die? Everybody's a bit of a cunt sometimes. Don't say you're not, you cunt, because that's a lie.
You're a cunt.
You're a cunt.
You're a cunt. You're a cunt.
You're a cunt.
You're a cunt.
You're a cunt.
You're a cunt.
You're a cunt, says Dad. Cunt. Everybody's a bit of a cunt sometimes. Everybody's a bit of a cunt sometimes. We're bastards and we're gits. We're wankers and we're shits. But sometimes that is just one word that absolutely fits. Everybody's a bit of a cunt sometimes. A fact that any Catholic won't deny. I once shagged my girlfriend's sister. My gran's dead. I've never missed her. Ooh, what a cunt. Everybody's a bit of a cunt sometimes.
Seriously, Steve, fuck off.
Everybody's a bit of a cunt sometimes. Everybody's a bit of a cunt sometimes. See the beggar passing by.
Oh my God, I couldn't find it to turn it off.
My screen will not let me scroll up or down. Will yours?
That was happening to me yesterday.
That's
I
why I
couldn't
had
do it at all. Yeah, I know. And it done it to me. I thinking, oh my God, I just couldn't do anything with it. But I just couldn't find that then. It was like it had moved.
we must be being. Oh my God, you guys!
Oh,
Someone's.
because we're going like JLR.
That's what it is, Maggie. I mean, everybody realizes now we're influencers. Who knew?
Hey, did I hear that there's another Scouser in here, Lizzo?
There might be another Scouser in here.
Up the Scousers! Up the Scousers!
You know us Scousers, we love to look good. All right, let's get back to this. Let's get back to this and finish it up, and then we'll have a look.
Oh my God! I put before hit the thumbs up, please, and it's rejected it. What did you say? Hit?
I'm telling you, it's because they know we're influencers. All right, guys, let's finish this up, and then we will get to just doing chat and having a little chitty chat and talk.
I don't think we want to confuse the color of a material with the translucency of a material.
Okay.
There are blackout curtains that are white. There are blackout curtains that are purple. I mean, and that we don't know what was inside the tent that also attributed to facilitating those conditions.
Yeah, it's a good point. It's a good point. And then what about this other aspect that they called off the search within 48 hours of her being reported missing? I just remember being very surprised. I've been at the game a long time. I don't recall many other disappearance cases where an authority called off a search permanently unless and until, any searching might be needed later, which was slightly his wording.
Right. And this is where confirmation bias can really impact the inexperience of a young detective or young officers. If you are doing a murder investigation and you find a smoking gun, you may go, oh, okay, case solved. But you haven't yet taken it that next 3 or 4 steps. Are there fingerprints? Do the ballistics match? Can you trace the point of sale? Is it registered to a known offender? Does it match the photos and the videos that we saw in the surveillance feed? Yes, great. If not, then it was one of my instructors used to say, then that gun plus a nickel is worth about 5 cents.
What do you make of the fact that just yesterday, Sheriff Nanos was asked by the Daily Mail, is anybody cleared? And he said, absolutely not. No one is cleared. And then 24 hours later, this very definitive statement came out. Is that not unusual? I mean, he's taking it on the chin from a lot of people, but when your mind is made up, you put out your statement, regardless of what was said 24 hours before. But what do you make of that really quick change?
It could be pressure. It could be outside influence. It could be that the evidence that is at hand is informing that decision. At this point, we really don't know.
And of course, everybody is talking about this DNA that was found inside a glove 2 miles from Nancy Guthrie's home. It is a glove that resembles a glove that was seen on the Nest cam. And everyone's so excited about it being loaded up in Dakotas. If it yields a person, it could be a criminal. Like it could be somebody who's got a criminal past who happened to discard a glove as he was riding in the back of a pickup truck from the last, job that he did. But how much faith do you put in that particular glove?
More than 0, but less than a lot. I can walk. Everyone who's worn a glove or every worn glove has DNA by its very nature, especially latex gloves like that. Also, black latex gloves are very common. I live in downtown Austin. I could walk outside and find 50 within a 2-mile radius.
And they found 16 just around her house. They were all different kinds, but this one they said really matched the appearance of that glove on the camera.
Oh, it looks like a very special black latex glove.
Yeah, I know. They really are a dime a dozen. I was listening to Brian Enton's reporting the other day, and I didn't even think of it, but he said hairdressers use those gloves, construction, contractors use those gloves, mechanics. So many people use them. And so to have them discarded on the side of the road 2 miles away, I guess the only issue would be is if it matched the DNA, the male source of the DNA inside her home that was unknown DNA that didn't match any of her close confidants.
Exactly. And this goes back to what I said before. You found a smoking gun. Does it have the fingerprints? Does it match the ballistics? Can you trace the point of sale? It's not just the one thing. It has to be the other things involved.
There's also been a lot of, there's been a pissing match, frankly. People, I think, interjecting drama where it's maybe not as big as it seems to be in the headlines between the feds and the locals, the sheriff at odds with the feds at odds with the sheriff. I think there's maybe a little bit of an element of truth to both sides, but generally speaking, I don't think it's World War III. And yet people keep picking on the notion that the evidence has been sent to a private Florida lab. P.S. A private Florida lab that is balls out incredible. They have solved remarkable crimes. They are great at what they do. But people are taking the piss out of the sheriff for having done that and saying even now it's causing a delay because of the chain of custody to get back to the FBI for CODIS uploading.
So I think it's very important that when you think about chain of custody and when you think about continuity of care, you don't want to have all of your eggs in different baskets. You want all of your forensics here. You want all of your tips here. You want all of your data forensics here. You want all of your investigations here. You want multiple silos and then bridges. What you don't want is forensic evidence here and forensic evidence here and forensic evidence here and tips here and tips here and tips here and tips here, because then everything's everywhere and it's really hard to categorize and collate and assess that data. And compare.
Yeah.
So if you have a facility in Florida that is already doing all the DNA for this case, that should be where all the DNA goes.
You're the second person who I trust, who's got great credibility, who has said that to me on this podcast. Others have said it elsewhere, but there's just been more criticism than sort of measured response to that. And on Sunday, when those homicide investigators from the Pima County Sheriff's Department were in that home, that is when they sent it. It wasn't until the next day the feds arrived. So I do think it's unfair criticism.
I agree.
Yeah. All right. Talk to me a little bit about the raid on Friday night. Oh my God. I thought it was, Eric Rudolph or Ted Kaczynski. Instead of this guy who's seen on the camera with a Mexican carry. That was a hell of a show of force. Talk to me about why you think that much heavy-handedness was brought out in this particular raid.
The only legitimate reason for having that much, you had SWAT, you had federal police, you had local police, you had sheriff's department to be involved in a raid of that magnitude is if there was legitimate actionable intelligence. This would not be something where you got a random tipster that said, hey, I think the guy lives at 420 Walnut, and then you just amassed all of these people to go out and hit this house. On the flip side, we're in week 3. There needs to be a show of force. Maybe they're hitting this house with this show of force to get the people that are really involved more jittered or to make a mistake or to do something on the back end. But for that case to have been cleared or that incident to have been cleared so quickly with that kind of show of force involved really surprised me.
Interesting you should say that, because Brian Ensign said today there's some meat on the bones of that particular action that was taken on Friday night, and that there is still investigative work being done. He actually mentioned there's work being done on DNA testing. There's work being done on other leads. Let me get the actual wording, because I thought it was really interesting what he said about it. He said, evidence, electronics, even DNA still being investigated with regard to that Friday night raid. Are you surprised that the 3 people who were detained were released, not arrested, and yet we're hearing that there's meat on the bones of that raid?
Well, it's kind of like if you arrest a low-level drug dealer, do you want to charge them right then, or do you want to throw it back in the water and then see who they talk to? So I don't know who's, quote, quarterbacking this investigation or, the reasons and the rationale for the decisions that they're making. But as being involved in operations like this, as I have, and looking at this from a 30,000 foot perspective, it would not be uncommon to release someone without charging them just to see what they do.
That's super interesting. I didn't even think of that. A lot of strategy is going on behind the scenes that we're not made aware of, just to sort of rattle people's cages and then follow what they do and where they go. Yes.
Investigations are not checkers, it's chess.
Yeah, good point. Talk to me about the new, let me ask you about this 4th note that has arrived at Harvey Levin's door at TMZ. I mean, it's serious because whoever's doing it is committing a crime if they're lying
Yes.
and is involved in something or privy to something that is terribly, terribly dangerous and immoral and illegal and deadly.
Yeah.
But I mean, 4 notes of the same ilk from the same person trying to sell information. What do you make of that?
I think that we all wanted to believe that this was a kidnap for ransom issue, which is very rare in the United States. It's more common in Latin America and in the Middle East. Most kidnap for ransom cases in the United States are about child custody or abduction. But when that first call for the ransom demand came in and there was no proof of life, a lot of bells started going off in my head because that doesn't make sense. Kidnappers are professionals. And who they kidnap is interchangeable as it would relate to their return on investment. Professional kidnappers care about 3 things. They care about privacy, they care about the procedure, and they care about the profit. They don't want to involve news organizations. They know that they need to establish a proof of life. They're going to reach out to the family. They're going to say, here's how you can contact me, or here's when you can hear from me again. Let's get this ball rolling. Let's get it settled. Let's get it down. Let's get it over. Involving TMZ is just wild. TMZ is where you go if you want to start a bidding war for a celebrity sex tape. It's not where you go if you want to facilitate a kidnap for ransom demand.
I've had this conversation before, and generally speaking, kidnap for ransom is a business. They
Yes.
want their money and they don't want attention. And typically the last thing they want to involve is the press or the police. In fact, that's usually one of the demands. You tell anybody and we take a finger or we kill. Like, you put the money in, you have this much time and we're done. And they want their money. So it is odd that any of these overtures went to the media.
100%, which is why you see like in express kidnappings where they follow someone who goes into a movie theater. They know they turned off their phone. They call the parents. They say, hey, we're going to, you have 2 hours to wire us $1,000 or you'll never see your daughter again. The parents call their daughter. They can't get through because the daughter turned her phone off in the movie. The parents Venmo the money and the kid comes out of the movie theater going, hey, what do you mean? What's going on? Why do I have all these missed calls? The last thing you want to do is involve law enforcement because that is a real inhibitor to the control, the timing, and the options that you have as a kidnapper.
You call those express kidnappings? I didn't know it had a name.
Express kidnappings.
Meaning you have 2 hours and they know that 2 hours is a safe 2 hours that they can actually effectuate
Correct.
what they want.
Yeah.
Learn something new every day. Okay. Another question for you. Harvey made a
Before she gets into that question, I want to throw something out to you guys about the kidnapping thing too. If let's just say this was supposed to be, I don't particularly believe it at all, but if this was supposed to be a kidnapping for a ransom, right? I will continue to say over and over again that we wouldn't have waited to hear from them for 3 days, 4 days, however long it took for somebody to get a letter, an email, or whatever it was that first came in. And then the other thing I wanted to bring up was it's just being said a whole lot more now about organized burglary, and that they went in the house with the backpack, that the backpack was empty. They went in the house and they just wanted to burglarize the house. My question to that would be, I think a lot of people think that that the person who was up on the porch actually has been there in some approximation before, or had actually gotten word as to the layout, correct? Why wouldn't they wait to go in and burglarize the next day when if they were surveilling the house, when they knew she would be at church? Or why wouldn't they have just gone and burglarized the house whenever she was at her? Why wait until the woman's in her home to just burglarize her house? What says you, Maggie? Does that make a lick of sense? Yo, Maggie. His pack was full. Shad, good to see you again, honey. So good to see you. I agree. That pack was full. Max, can you hear me? Think she's figuring something out, y'all.
Direct appeal to this person saying, if you're lying, you're breaking the law and you are in a world of hurt if you get caught. If you're not lying, how about this? We'll get your information to law enforcement. And if it pans out, you'll get your money through our chain of custody. What do you make of that? Is that, again, is this chess now?
Listen, I know Harvey. I've met Harvey. I have respect for everything that Harvey does. This is also very good for Harvey. This is very good for TMZ. It keeps their name in the media. It's not like TMZ has never paid for information before. So if they really wanted this information, TMZ could just make that payment themselves.
Yeah, but I do like that he put it back in his court, meaning you'll get your money. All you need to do.
I think that he is handling this is very responsibly and is involving the FBI at all turns. But this is not what TMZ does.
Okay, last question, and it's a big one. The signal sniffer tech. I've been trying my best to get back into all of my university courses that would have made me better prepared to understand this technology. But listen, if I'm talking to you like you're 5, for viewers who don't understand this, it is a very simple kind of action. The signal sniffer is sending out a handshake to just Nancy's device address, meaning if they get over Nancy's device, it's going to grab that device. And I learned just last night that it's not 30 to 50 feet. It is 800 to 1,000 feet. This is good tech.
It is amazing tech. And the best way I think, to explain it to an audience is you have a phone and you have CarPlay in your car. When you get into your car, your phone automatically connects to your car because your phone has a special ID and your car has a special ID, and it has been previously paired. Since Nancy's phone was left back at home, they have metadata from her phone for that handshake. So when they are doing this, they are not looking for all the pacemakers in the world. They are looking for Nancy's pacemaker. And that can be a huge asset and a huge advantage to the investigation.
Spencer, all I keep thinking is the helicopter that Brian Enton saw hovering over the neighborhood. It was Nancy's neighborhood the other day. And I thought, whoa, that's a big that's a big asset to bring out. What about just a phalanx of drones that are loaded with these devices that do the kind of search that we did for MH370? They searched that ocean by grid. Could they not do the same in the desert?
They could do the same in the desert, but we also have to keep in mind that whoever took Nancy is also probably watching the news and probably also knows that these assets are being deployed, and it's probably also Googled, how do I defeat this?
Yeah. And we do know that there are ways, heavy concrete and all sorts of things. But it just makes me feel like since we learned that the pacemaker will continue alive or dead, it will go for years, that there's some hope to be able to find her, at least with this kind of search technology. Last question, and this is really just your gut and your experience. How long do you think this can go on for?
I have seen missing people cases go 6 months, 6 years, 60 years. We don't know. What I do know is that life expectancy drops about 90% when you are moved to a second location. So if the audience is going to take anything away from this conversation, if you think for a moment that you are about to be abducted, fight, 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 fight like your life depends on it, because it very well might. If you get moved to a second location, if an abduction is attempted at the first location, you have a 90% survival rate. Once you get moved to a second location, that survival rate drops to 10%, because now you have given the abductors control, you have given them time, and you've given them options.
I'm glad you said that. It takes me back to the training that I got before I was a war correspondent, and they drilled it into my head. If you're put in a car, you're probably not coming out. So take the bullet, run in a zigzag, do whatever you can. Handguns are terrible for aim. If they got a handgun, run like hell, take the bullet. It's your best chance at getting away, but never, ever let them get you into that car. But we're talking about an 84-year-old woman.
I know. And it breaks my heart. But I hope and pray every day that this case is resolved yesterday.
And I'm glad they have an open mind and that they are shifting, because if they are shifting, hopefully they're shifting closer. And even NBC said they're leaning away from their original suspects. So maybe they're leaning towards something that actually will yield a result. Spencer Corson, this has been such a good conversation. I hope it's not our last.
My absolute pleasure. Thank you so much.
And there you have it. There is a lot to think about here.
All right, so that's the end of that. I hope you guys found that as interesting as I did.
Yeah. Can you hear me, Lainey?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Okay. I was answering you before. I wasn't ignoring you. I was trying to send a post. I was clicking on it. Nothing was happening, and I was answering you at the same time.
It's okay. Beth, we can see you. We can see you, Beth. Yes. I'm glad that they did at the end there bring up the fact about the pacemaker, because I did do some research into it. And I'm gonna either talk to one of us will be covering the pacemaker. We're gonna go deeper into the pacemaker, but I want to tell you this since they brought it up. I found out, and you guys may already know this, nobody in my family has a pacemaker, but thank God. But I found out that I know this sounds morbid, but I'm just going to say it. A pacemaker, even after somebody is deceased, will still be working. The only time a pacemaker actually stops working is when the battery dies or the battery is taken out. I did not know that.
I didn't know that the battery does die. I thought the end of the life of a pacemaker is when the person dies and it's removed if they're being cremated.
No. So the batteries, my brain's getting shuffled.
Years and years, I thought.
But the batteries do last years, but there are times that the battery does die and it has to be changed.
Oh.
So we're gonna, and I don't want to give too much because I actually want to do a live on all of that. Yeah. So I'm just saying, if you guys want to look that up, if you want to get your own information about it, and then let's get together and talk about it. I thought it was, listen, I've got a daughter who's had a kidney and a heart transplant, my oldest daughter, and I learned something new about the heart all the time. And I never even thought to look into a pacemaker until all of this. And I was fascinated. It's fascinating to me. And I understand maybe you guys aren't into it as much, but for me, who's got a daughter who's got a donor heart, anything I can learn about what the heart does and with the body and keeping the body alive and what can be done to help a person live longer, I'm all about that. So that was big time to me. Maggie, I want to bring something else up, and I want your guys' opinion.
Go on, Gail.
So take a look at this. What says you? Anybody?
Now, I can't see this very clear because I'm on my phone.
I'm gonna bring it closer.
That's someone having a tattoo.
Look at the gloves.
Yeah, black glove. They're the same as what they use. It's hair salons and tattooists. There's loads of people that wear those types of gloves.
Mm-hmm. And do you remember when we were talking before and somebody was in here bitching us out because we were talking about somebody had said something about the creases in them, and they said it's not those types of gloves. They don't have creases in them. You can't double those up. Now, I'm not saying this is the type of gloves. I think we've all known that the type of glove that just by looking at the video and the pictures, I think we all knew that the glove that he's using is not a standard glove that we all use during COVID and what they use at the hospital or you know what I mean? These are specific thicker gloves, but it makes me wonder, the other gloves, like the kinds that we wore during COVID, the kind that I wore when I worked in healthcare, you always tried to wear at least I did. When I wore gloves, I tried to wear the ones that were the tightest because of germs. I didn't think about DNA, but just because of germs, you know what I mean? But if I was a criminal, that's what I'd be thinking of is my DNA, my DNA. So this is just another thing that I'm saying about how stupid I think these people are. Now, I do believe the man is wearing more than one set of gloves. Absolutely. 100%. His hands just look huge to me. And I think that's the consistency everybody has, that he's wearing more than one set of gloves.
Yeah.
But with these types of gloves, this is what I'm saying about if these are kind of experienced people that, know what the hell they're doing, unfortunately, versus people that are just think they're badasses and think, they can carry a freaking gun. You know what I mean? Like kick anybody's ass, those kind of people. And that's what I think that we're dealing with. I don't think we're dealing with people that are true badasses that could go out here and give these cops a run for their money. It may look like they're giving the cops a run for their money, but I just think, and I will always say it until it's way done and over with, that in this instance, these cops don't know what the hell they're doing. Maybe not all the cops, but the sheriff, the big dog on campus, he did this all wrong. This should have been turned over straight away to the FBI, especially being this close to the border. Because here's what I thought, Maggie. Whenever we've been doing these lives and all throughout the day, you guys, I'll come over to my computer. I pull up my FlightAware. Anybody could get FlightAware on their on any of your devices. I love FlightAware because even when my family travels, I just punch in their flight number and I could watch them take off and land and watch wherever they're at, right? But it's also a good tool to use in things like this. So I was always pulling up FlightAware, checking to see if there was any choppers out there. And I was so weirded out that the fact that there's a person missing in the desert, and yet only one time did I see a chopper that was doing a circle and hovering. One time, and that was last week. And I believe now that it was when they were doing that search for the pacemaker. What says you? Why wouldn't you? Now, I don't know. I know a little bit about international law, probably just the average personal thing about. I don't think we could put choppers up and then go over the border into Mexico without some kind of permission from their government. But why didn't we put choppers up there just to see if any land was disturbed?
Yeah.
And I heard someone talking about even at nighttime, you can put a chopper up there with night vision goggles and they can see like a dark spot in the dirt where it's been disturbed. Why didn't we have that going on? Does that not make sense? I mean, I'm just a lean. I'm not even an investigator, but even I, in the middle of the desert, the first thing I would have thought was get a chopper up there. Let's go. When Abby and Libby went missing here in Indiana, the choppers were in the sky that quick, you guys.
Would they tell you though, Lee? Would they tell you that they'd done that?
Yes, you wouldn't be able to stop the news from seeing it. It's not that they would tell you. You can hear the choppers. You can see the choppers. It would be reported. And then people like me run to our computers, pull it up, and see what kind of chopper it is, whether it's a police chopper, a private chopper, a chopper that's bringing in to hospitals, different, life flights or things like that. It all brings it up right there.
Yeah, see, I thought of that a while ago, about stuff like that, but I just thought maybe that's some type of information that they just don't say. But,
no, it would, and even when we were watching JLR, he's like, oh, there's a drone up there. You just cannot not see it. They're not stealth.
Yeah.
Hi, JB Cheryl. Good to see you. Your thing in South Carolina is what? Tell us all about it. We want to know. There's an airport not far from the house. They would have had many helicopters there. Right. Been watching it the whole time. Our very own matriarch of this channel, Miss Barbara, is right there. She used to pass by Nancy's neighborhood to go to work every day. She's not far from where Nancy went missing at all. She would be able to tell us if there were choppers in the air, you know. It just, I'm so mind boggled by, I mean, at this point, it's so sad to say, you guys, but at this point, if she was taken out into the desert, y'all, there's animals out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just feel like the longer we get away from it, I just don't think we're going to find her body unless she's really alive and somebody's just keeping her. But my fear is that Mexican border is so close, so close. And y'all, it's not like when you're going over the border that they're really checking a lot, you know, like going through your trunk, all this. Maybe they do it every 2 cars or whatever. You only got to mainly worry about that when you're coming into the country. I mean, they're pretty much hopefully checking every car. But that's what scares me so bad, because if they've taken her over the border, the chances of us finding her, Maggie, is just next to nothing. I mean, the good thing about that guy telling Ashley that don't ever let someone get you in a car or take you to a second location, I mean, that's great for awareness. But on the other hand, he just basically, well, he didn't basically, he just told future criminals that are thinking of this, look, we just got to get them to a second location. We're down to getting caught. I want to know what the average is of getting them out of the United States, to any border, not just Mexico, any border. But I'm only saying the Mexican border because it's freaking less than 70 miles away.
Oh my God.
So scary. It's so scary.
Maybe that's where she is, and this is going the way it's going. This is why.
It's terrible.
It is.
Oh, it makes me so sad. It really does. Ellie says they've messed up so many times. I feel like they could have solved it quicker if they weren't messing around. That's exactly. If there weren't eagles involved, I really think that this would be solved already. Wild Angel says, Eleni, they should have they shouldn't had a mount right away from the. Maggie, I'm gonna have to let you read. My brain is like woo cuckoo.
Okay.
If you don't mind reading what's on screen.
Yeah. Really, they should have had a mount right away from the very first time that they called her in missing. But when you get out of my head, woman, I was just thinking the same thing.
Sorry about that. Beth says, go ahead, Max.
Hang on, Gail. Sorry, I was reading another one then.
I'm sorry.
I'm not. I asked her what was wrong. She said she'd fixed it. She says, I'm not sure. It wasn't showing any of my comments. So I unsubscribed and resubscribed. Now it works. For 5 damn days, I've been talking to myself in chat and wondering why nobody was responding.
Oh,
God help you, Gail. We've only had a couple of them and it's mad enough.
Yeah, apparently somebody got really, really upset last night, my last live, because I was not seeing their comments at all. Miss Barbara says, getting back over into the U.S. is where the problem is, right? And why would they bring her back? Benet says, I think, am I pronouncing that right? Benet or Benet? She can't be.
I don't know. Benet.
Why? I'd like to know why you think she can't be in Mexico. Give me that. Had them out. Sorry, it's okay. It's okay.
Do you want me to carry on reading comments, Leo, or are you okay now?
No, go ahead. I'm gonna get a lozenge for my throat.
Okay. Well, there isn't any. So there you go. Except Shag says, lol. That's it. So Wild Angel says, my dogs just had Cheerios and blueberries for breakfast. Got to fire up the chicken breast later. I can't see that comment because it's got the $sign, but this was here we go. Chicken breast later, but this was a quick one. A quick one. Sally, you now giving your dogs blueberries and Cheerios? Don't tell Jessie that. Beth said it was awful. One night I was screaming at the TV because my mum was talking twaddle and sending me absolutely square, but I couldn't chat because no comments were coming up. It's like being banned. Say Benny. Benny says, say Benny. So there you go. I was right, Benny. For the first time, I was right. I'm not good at pronouncing names, Benny, but I did think you were Benny, so I got it right. But thanks for letting us know how to say it. How is all keeping up? Is anyone tired? I don't even know how long this has been on. This live.
Only 3 hours, Mag. I went on late. I was talking to Lou and Melly, and I didn't even know how late it was, to tell you the truth. And I was like, damn. And then I sent you a message, and I was like, Maggie, let me know what time you're getting up, what time
I didn't even looked at my messages.
I
picked my phone up straight away to see what was going on with the case, as I do. And I seen you were live, and I was like, so we just clicked in.
No, I appreciate. No, I just sent you a message and just said, let me know when you're awake. And because I didn't want to go on by myself because I knew I was losing my voice. But you know, I wanted to get on. I wanted to talk about some of the new things that were going on. I realize we don't have to do 2 lives a day, which is what we've been doing for a while, but and it's going to slow down again, you guys. It will slow down again.
It does go hard, especially when there's not an happening. Do you know what I mean? And you're just repeating yourself, and you don't want people to think, "Oh God," because there's no more news to be given. Or to talk about. So it is hard when it's like today, like you've discussed all this. It's like, what do we discuss tonight? There's not.
You know what?
You never know.
Maggie, I'm telling you, I told everybody when I first came on, I said, look, you guys, I feel so overstimulated because I was like, oh God, we got to talk about this. Oh God, we got to talk about that. And then I had to focus. I was like, all right, Leanie, bring it in. Let's focus. Let's narrow this in. Because to me, the more I just kept researching, the more I kept bringing it up, the more I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. I mean, I was everywhere. I was a freaking I was struggling. So that's when I was like, all right, what I tried it. So because I could have talked about 50 million things that I just thought was fascinating about this and stuff. So for me, I don't know. There's still so much to talk about.
But then there's people that come in that haven't been in or are saying what's happened, where you're up to, what do you know?
Yeah.
I mean, if the chat's going and they're bouncing off with you and they're coming up with things, and then it's okay to do it. It's if it goes slow and you know. But then I just resume JLR then because he's given me permission to. So I just do that. But anyway, Wild Angel says while they don't get kibble anymore, the dry dog food, because it's not good for them, which is not good for them. Kibble. It's not. It is shit. She said.
It's shite.
It's shite, our food, so that the only crunchies they get most of the time. So tell me this, right? Can dogs eat Cheerios? Because I'm going out to get a box now if they can.
Oh yeah. They can.
Don't.
Yeah. No, I'm serious. They
full
can.
of sugar.
All that's no Cheerios don't have much sugar in them. Look at this.
Is it a cereal? Is it a cereal? Like we've got.
It's just grain and wheat.
Oh, I'm getting.
Cheerios are actually very good for you.
Well, isn't Cheerios? It's I'm trying to think. Is it? We look for? No, it's grain free. Grain free. We have to have grain free.
Oh yeah, because of her allergies.
Hiya, Jamie. So could she eat that?
Well, it's got grains in it. So if you got to be
Nice.
grain free, then no, don't give it to her.
Well, no, it's not saying she's got to be grain free. I've just always fed her grain free.
Oh no, my dogs. My babies are so spoiled, y'all. That y'all know, y'all. I try to give them what's good for them, you know.
Oh, how much would you give my Jessie then, Lee? Tell me, I'm going.
Listen. She's little. I wouldn't even give my dogs probably, but about just because I know Newt's got a weak stomach, and
yes,
so
she's the same.
And so, as little as she is, I'd probably give her about 6 or 7 of them at the most.
Yeah, I just give them throughout the day like a treat.
Yeah, that's what I would. I wouldn't give them as a meal, just
yeah,
because.
She's only tiny.
Yeah, Newt couldn't handle it. Now he would lap it up, but then I'd pay for it later, and so
that's exactly what happens to me with Jessie.
Yeah.
I'll just do a bit and see how she goes with that. Because any new food she gets, she'll just have diarrhea. Awful.
Yeah, let me say this real quick. I asked her why wouldn't she be in Mexico, and she said they would have spotted her. They check your car boot. Depends on what border you go over and who's working it. Even coming into the USA, I mean, I don't think they're checking every vehicle. Depends on who's working. Are you buddies with them? Are you giving them money to turn their head? I mean, money speaks. So I absolutely 100% believe that she's in Mexico, and I do not believe she's alive. And I don't mean that to sound harsh or rude, but that's just my theory. Lolly, good morning. She said, my sister fed her dog all people food and they lived to be 19. I don't think people food is necessarily bad for dogs. My dogs get peanut butter. They get, I mean, there's a lot of food they get. And believe you me, little girl, she's a brat and she protests food. And she gets extremely upset and she pouts and she refuses to eat because every time she goes into heat, she gets really sick and she has trouble eating and drinking water. And so I have to spoon feed her and stuff like that. She's really, really spoiled and give her certain things to get her to eat. Her favorite thing is frozen vegetables. She'll eat the hell out of bags of frozen vegetables. But if Newt ate, even a half of the frozen vegetables that she does, he's going to have, he's going to be sick to his stomach because his tummy can't handle it. Whereas little girl, she's got the tummy of a freaking, she's just a regular dog who's going to just eat all the food, whatever you give her, and her tummy doesn't hurt. But I don't think giving people food is bad. I think you just have to be careful.
No salts or stuff like that.
Yeah, and just in moderation, kind of like what we eat, you know what I mean? And you have to make sure they get their full, I believe in giving. Some people only feed their dogs meat, and they don't give them nothing else. They're just on a meat diet. Some people only feed their dogs only meat free. You know what I mean? For me, I just think that if it's a balance, like a kid, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it should just be balanced.
Yeah, I've always tried to give it a very diet, chicken, fish, things like that. But I'm like, oh my God. But now she can't have chicken because they think that's one of the allergies, which I did notice when she was having chicken. Her stomach was awful. Soon as I stopped the chicken, a couple of weeks after, she's been fabulous. But
that's
anything
right.
new, that's it.
That's
what they say most dogs do not tolerate chicken.
Well, out of my 4 Goldens, we can't count little Laramie yet because we don't know if he's too little to have figured him out. But so out of the 3 adult Goldens that I've had, my first one was the one that had the allergies just so bad, like Jess. And I remembered after reading something, because remember I told you she was on Apoquil?
Yeah.
And you said Jess was already on that. And then I remembered on top of the Apoquil, she would have to go in each month and get a shot of Cyto. It's called Cyto something, Cytomil or Cyto, starts with a
It's
C.
got to do with the allergies.
Yeah.
Because he said this is what she might end up having to have because she keeps just starting itching all over again. So far, so good at the minute.
Yeah, that's right. Go ahead. You can read Miss Barbara.
Okay, so Miss Barbara says when you cross the US to Mexico, they don't pay much attention. It's when they try to cross back to the USA, they search the car.
That's right. That's right. Yep.
Oh God, I wonder if she is there. Like, I wonder if this is what's.
I hope I'm wrong about everything, Maggie.
I know,
really
it's terrifying.
do.
It's just terrifying. I can't stop thinking about what she must have felt when she first saw him. I mean, can you think of it yourself?
It's
just the thought of someone being in my home and they didn't touch me just knocks me sick.
And you just like, even if you're laying there, you're in the bathroom or just in your living room, and you turn around and these strange eyes are looking at you.
God,
terrible. Then I also think of their family, and I'm just like,
I know.
I would be in a hospital because I could not lay my head down.
Yeah,
knowing my mama was out there. I just
what anyone says is not knowing is worse than knowing. When someone's loved one goes missing, like a child or anybody. But I mean, I think more of a child. I know that sounds bad, but I just think, how do they feel to never see that child and sit and wonder what, how do you think of that if it just disappeared, gone? And all your life, you just never know. I think that's just
never know.
How do you never know?
I mean, those are some strong people. I don't think I have that strength in me. I
don't think, Lee, that it's a choice. Is it? It's not a choice. It's just something you've got to deal with because you don't get that choice. They have no other choice but to deal with it. And it's just
I don't think I could deal. That's what my problem is. I don't think I could deal with it.
I get what you're saying. I mean, I've had things in life I never thought I'd deal with, never thought I'd come through. And I suppose other people have. Well, I know other people have. And you do. Somehow you do. Eventually.
I just know when my mom passed away and my sister passed away, I wanted to die. I just wanted everything to stop.
Yeah.
And I was especially when my mom passed away, my sister passed away 13 months later. And I kind of had the attitude, like, just kick me, just keep bringing it,
you just want to go in a room, shut the door, and be just never to see anyone again.
Yes, that's exactly. It just was terrible. So but at least I had the comfort of knowing my mom, my sister were okay. You know what I mean? I knew where they were at.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's still heartbreaking.
How do you even put that into words?
I know. It's something you'd never, ever, ever just get over, because wouldn't you be going down the street sort of thing and thinking, oh God, is that them? Is that, everything you see, and you're just suspicious of everything, and you're watching everything, your mind will be tormented. Your whole life would be tormented. You'd always be searching.
Yes.
Always searching.
Because even someone passes away, sometimes your mind will play tricks on you. Like,
you think you've seen them.
Yeah, you double take, and then you just have to bring yourself back and remember, no, they're gone. But to know that someone's missing, and then you think you see them, like I could just see myself running through the store to be able to look at their face and see if that's my mom or my baby. But imagine, so I know how I would feel about my mom, but then it just brings me to the point of how much even more I thank God I've never had to live through any of this with anybody that I know. but how much a parent, how do they live through that when they know their baby
Never
is
to have closure.
Oh.
No. It just doesn't bear thinking about. I mean, I don't know where I doubt you'll have heard, because there's thousands we haven't heard about in your country. I always remember a little boy called Ben Needon. His mum took him to Kos on holiday. And the little blonde boy, he was 2 at the time, 2 or 3, and he was picked up, and he's never found him, and she still goes back and searches to this day. And I think that was Liz. How long ago was that? About 30 years ago. And she's still searching for him, Lainey. She's still searching. She's had things done to show how he'd look now if he was older, and she gets it all the time, saying there's been sightings, and she goes back. And we had a big thing saying, you know, it looks good, and it wasn't him. It's just, I mean, and there's thousands like her. How do you survive that? But you do. She has. But my God, it's just an ongoing torment.
It's not life. It's not living.
You're just existing
in that
to find them again.
Stuck in that space, that moment that you realize they're gone. You're there forever, and you never stop searching, no matter how old you get. It just is always.
You're reliving that moment over and over again. Just lying in bed of a night, you must. You know, as soon as you get a quiet minute, that's all you go on. That's all you're picturing in your mind. Oh, like you say, it just doesn't bear thinking about.
No, but I don't know how you cannot, you know, because even us as people who it's never happened to, and we see how it affects all of us. It's not even our family. Miss Guthrie's not even our mom. And we're so invested in this, and we stay awake because we're just waiting for that one break, that one thing. You know what I mean? I can't imagine that it being my mom. You know what I mean? So, I mean, if it affects us, virtual strangers, you know, the way that it does, I just can't imagine being in their shoes and living that. Maggie, I'm telling you, I wasn't built for that. I've been through a lot of hard things in my life.
Well, look, you never thought you would survive your mum.
Nope.
You never thought you would, and somehow you did.
Only by the grace of God, girl. Only by the grace of God.
And it is always by that, because I'm telling you now, you think you can't survive something, and you do eventually. It might take years, whatever, but one day you will come out of it. You don't get a choice.
That's true. There's no choice. I think the biggest blessing of...
And maybe that's how you found us and why we all found each other. Because that was the escapism you needed. To be able to take you away from your everyday life. You're not involved with people you know. You don't want that. You don't want any of that. This was all new. And that's what helped you. So this was your way out.
That's right. That's right. All right, guys. You know what? I'm done. How about you, Max? Are you done? Are you guys planning on? Are you guys planning on doing a live later today? What's the plan for?
What are we doing? Are we getting up later tonight? It's 12:48 in the afternoon here now, so it'll probably be about 7ish again. 7-8, between 7 and 8, say, if Lizzo's up for it. I mean, I'll get up on my own if I have to. Probably only be on 10 minutes, but I will. Lizzo, are you coming? Yeah, Lizzo's up for it.
All right, I will be in chat cheering you guys on. I promise not to bombard your channel. I mean, your live again. You guys do great, and I just appreciate you guys doing it. And I know that everybody that comes in to chat is glad that you're here and has a place to go as well. So,
we'll be made up if you all come on tonight anyway, or later. I mean, I don't know whether you'll be sleeping or whatever, because I get confused with everyone's time. I know one of our mods there, Melly Jo, she'll be sleeping.
All of our Australian family will be asleep. The Americans, depending on what time, Mags will go ahead, I guess, and do her thumbnail, set it up, and then make sure your bells are clicked so that you know, or that you'll get a notification at least for the live, and come and hang out. They run lives. I mean, we all run them the same. We like to entertain with ourselves with chat and with just whatever's going on. And the chat is a big part of our channel. And we appreciate everybody who wants to have a discussion with us. You have no idea what that means to us.
Yeah, definitely. Lunchy says, thank you all for coming in. Please hit the like, sub up, and come back this afternoon.
Here you go.
Yeah, come back and sit with me and Lizzo, and well, let's see what we can find today, Liz. Hey, let's see what we can find today to bring up later. Who knows? Who knows? Anyway, go on, Lee. I'm going to jump down and let you close it, love.
All right, love.
Thanks for letting me up, and I'll speak to you later. Ta-ra, everyone. Liz, I'll speak to you in a bit, girl. Bye, everyone. Bye, Melly. Bye, Lunchy. Bye, MJD. Bye, you all. Bye, bye. Bye, Shag. Bye, Wild Angel. Oh, bye, everyone. Ta-ra.
Ta-da. Cha-cha.
Cha-cha. Drop me down, girl.
Oh, okay. We always get excited when we can drop each other down. Shag, it is a pleasure always having you here. I love that you get in chat and get involved. Leah! How are you, love bug? Good to see you. I got your emails, and I sent you an email out as well. And as soon as I get your message, I'm going to send that right over to Maggie so that she will have that as well. Thank you guys so much for being here. Maggie will set up her and Lizzo's live. They will be back in just a couple of hours. Please join them, you guys. Please come on in here and just get involved. Get involved in the conversation. That's what matters. Let's just have some conversations. Nobody's right, nobody's wrong. Just let's be respectful of each other's right to have an opinion. That's what matters to me anyways. I love you guys. Shout out to the mods. You guys rock the Casbah. You guys keep this chat running, keep it smooth, keep it clean. And I appreciate that. Shout out to our mama, Barbara. She is the matriarch of this channel. She is highly loved and highly respected here. Not only that, Miss Barbara is from the Tucson area. She lives in Tucson. She's only about 2 hours away from what we are covering. Not even 2 hours. I don't know where that came from. She's only about 20 minutes away, 10, somewhere right in there, minutes away from the Nancy Guthrie home. And she knows a lot about the Tucson area. And not only that, she knows a lot about everything because she's lived many lives in her lifetime. And so we adore her as well. Thank you again to the chat. Without you guys, we don't have a channel. We would just stay over by ourselves in Discord and make fun of each other because that's what we like to do the best. And to those that have subbed up to us and keep coming back time and time again, to our new friends, thank you so much. We appreciate you, and you're welcome here anytime in this space. If y'all can't be good at it, and we'll see you next time. You know what? It won't even let me scroll, so I cannot play music. What is going on in with this today, you guys? It won't let me scroll down to play our outro or anything. I can't show anything. So with that, Matt.
Life is hard and life is wild.
Maggie, you're going to have to hit it again. Thank you. I'll have to sit here and just sing to you guys and wave as the music plays.
So come back to see your friend, or she'll wonder where you've been. According to Leanie, she appreciates you and all that you do. You need her, but she needs you, and that's the beauty of according to Leanie. So thank you for your time. You are a friend of mine. she'll wonder where you've been, according to Leanie. She appreciates you and all that you do. You need her, she needs you, and that's the beauty of according to Leanie. Be good or be good at it. Until next time, love, Leanie. Love, Leanie. Love, Leanie.